Good evening, Wayne. How are you doing this evening?
I'm good, Tom. How are you?
How's your 2022 been?
So far, so good. So good, yes.
I hear you got a new rebrand coming.
I have, yeah, on the 7th, yeah. On 7th of February next month, I've got a new way of going forward.
Well, you gotta start 2022 on a positive, haven't you?
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely.
So you've been doing any investigations much then in the end of 2021?
No, no, nothing. I've not really done nothing really paranormal or spiritual, um, probably since November. So I had a really bad time with mental health recently, and I'm just really coming back now. And I've always said, if you've got bad mental health, you shouldn't be doing paranormal or anything in that field because it's not right. It doesn't go together.
No,
So
because you're a heartfelt subject, aren't you? And going into
mm,
that heartfelt subject, you gotta go in there with determination. And you can't
yeah,
bring your own feelings into that, can you?
no, you can't. So that's why I took some time away, and I had a massive think about where do we go from here. Because there was a point where I wasn't going to carry on.
Good
A
evening, Shannon.
um,
How are you?
there wasn't a time that I wasn't going to carry it on, and I thought, you know what, this is it now. Let's just call it a day. You know, but my sister took over. She took over the page for a while, and the team sort of pulled me around and said, "No, look, Wayne, you've worked so hard for this. You know, why give up now? So I
Yeah,
thought, you
you
know
worked
what,
so hard for it. You worked and the community what in that. So why would you give it up? It's not a good decision overall, is it?
no, it wasn't. At the time when your head's not straight and you're not thinking straight, you know, you sort of think to yourself, maybe it is. But when you come around and you start thinking deep into it, and you're like, no, I actually worked hard. I've been on this since what, June 2020, been doing this. And I thought, you know what, I'm not going to give up now. I've got great followers. I've got great people that are around me, great, amazing team. So I thought, no, let's carry on going forward.
Well, before we review one of your investigations, do you want to introduce yourself to the viewers for
Yeah,
those that
sure. Yeah, sure. So my name is Wayne AJ Golwell. I'm the owner and lead investigator for Spirits Within Paranormal, soon to be a different name. I am changing the name. So I've been doing this
are they
since
mapping?
yeah, I've been doing this since June 2020, and I have an amazing team behind me. A fantastic team. I have a North team and a South team. So it's me up here now by myself. I'm literally a solo investigator now by myself up in Huddersfield, West Yorkshire. And I also have my team down south run by my sister Kylie Gowell, and that is the Milton Keynes team. That's got I think about 4 members, 4 to 5 members in that team down south. So it's really good. I've got amazing mods as well that watch the page, make sure the page is safe and um, you know, great content, and make sure like people not getting out too much hate, because we do get quite a lot of hate in the comments, or scams as well. Scams, we get a lot of scammers. So it just makes sure that everything goes crispy clean, and there is no issues.
Everyone's got a
Um,
role in Spirits Within. That's what we like to hear.
yeah, yeah, it is more connected. It's more it's everyone gets on with each other. And like I said, we do paranormal investigations around the country. We do spiritual stuff as well with cards, and we've got a few new things coming along as well this year, so I'm really looking forward to introduce them. And we're also, or Zoe, well, we did what Zoe does, Minds That Matter. It's the mental health
Good
side of
evening,
things as well.
Kylie. Thanks for tuning in. I'm
So
hoping you're
we
prepared for this lovely interview because I know the viewers are definitely are.
and we give out awareness as well. So we give out awareness as well. So yeah, we do it like an all rounder, and yeah, it is fun. It is good.
Well, it sounds lovely that you've got everything organised and judging by your reputation as well, I don't think you've came across wrong in the paranormal community.
I've had my bumps, but um, I'm very out. The problem with me, I'm very strong minded. Like not strong minded, but I'm very outspoken. and I will always say what's on my heart. You know, like if something's there, it's not right with me, I will always say it. You know, and it has led me in some hot water. You know, it really has. But end of the day, this is
Well, you don't
2022.
have fallouts every week or every month. You always, try and get on with each other because that's what
Oh yeah, yeah.
paralegal.
I don't have fallouts all the time. You know, so what it is, I 20, that's 2021. Okay, whatever stays in 2021. This is 2022 now. Everything that's happened in that year, I want to forget. This is 2022. I want to start fresh, start with a focused mind, and come back like positive as more than I ever have been.
Well, it sounds like you already are, Wayne. It sounds like you already are excited for the February revamp.
I am. I'm buzzing.
There we go.
If you want to make a noise or scream, please feel free to do so. Okay? So I understand, where's that coming from? I'm outside. Where is that coming from? It's not dust. I mean, not in. All my stuff, I ain't got dust equipment. All my stuff's been fully cleaned and my desk's been cleaned. So where's that dust coming from? I don't know. Anyway. Right, Spirit, I'm going to start with the Powertech. I've got the Alice box. I'm going to about to put the Necrophonics on now. Hi, Spirit. Can you confirm me your name? What is your name? Hey, Lucy. Hi, Jasmine. Do we have any spirits that was here beforehand? Yes. Yes, okay, so who do we have here then? I have several equipment. I got a bracelet. I have a EMF down the bottom there. I have a spirit ball there. Motion sensor light there. I have the REM bear there. REM pod up there. I have a spirit ball there. Okay, so they're all spread across under the troll bridge. Make all of them go off for me, please. None of them's gone. Literally, none of them's gone off yet. Not one of them's gone off yet.
So, Wayne, do give us a little background on that, and most importantly, why did you investigate alone?
Right. So never ever investigate by yourself. Number one rule, right? And if you do, make sure people know where you are and you're in a safe distance in case something goes wrong. Just want to put that out there straight away now. Where I was at a place called Trollbridge. There's a place that I go to. I've been many times with my family and take my dog for a walk. And I went to this location and I've been there a few times before, and you sort of feel, don't you know, you just feel that something's just not right at a location, or you go there and I wonder what's here. You know what I mean? So I went, and
They did
although
look a bit like orbs, didn't they, Fallon? They did
they
look a
weren't
little.
they weren't all orbs. As reevaluating, I mean, I always check my work after, I always go back and always check. And yeah, I was outside. Okay, I was outside. That much dust though outside, like I was in the woods. You know what I mean? Like, so where's that come from? Someone said to me it could have come from my clothes, dust fibers. So it could have been that brushing off. But that night we did catch a really nice orb that night though. amazing orb, and that's got a story behind it. That bridge has got a love story behind it as well. So I'm not sure if you'll play anymore, but what it was is I had
on the video clip. It looked like it's going to fall down. It looked very historic, if I'm honest.
Yeah. That though, where I was is fantastic woods. It's called Bowman Park. It's a landmark. It's a park. You know, it's a Victorian park, opened in 1886, and it was absolutely amazing park. You've not been there, go there. It's absolutely fantastic. The energy there is crazy. You know, but that section I've never done. So I thought, you know what? It's how can I say it? In that park, you got 2 levels, okay, or 3 levels. I want to say 3 levels. You got the top part of the park. That's very light, very. I can walk through that at night without any worries. It's absolutely a lovely feeling. At Trollbridge, where I was, it's like you're crossing over, okay. It's like you're in the middle, okay, and then right at the bottom, because where I was literally above, probably like we have 50, 60-foot drop, right? You hit you basically, that's at the bottom, and that's where it's heavy, the heavy feel of something that's not nice down there. And I've done all levels. Okay, I've been to all levels. I've investigated all sections, and where I was on that troll bridge, I'm not sure you're going to watch anymore, but at the end of that investigation, I was by myself, and I had to get Ryan to come and get me because I was walking out the park. I mean, this park I've been with my family hundreds of dozens of times. Like literally, I can walk around that park with my eyes closed and know my way. Okay, I was lost when I came out of this.
Walk away, and you're there to do a important investigation.
Yeah, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Like I could navigate myself around that park without any issues. I had to, at the end of that investigation, I had a certain spirit come forward that I know who he is because I've been told, and he done something to me. I don't know what he done to me, but something happened to me, and I was confused. I didn't know where I was. I was asking Ryan directions how to get out of the park. Seriously, I had no clue where I was.
It does look very fascinating because you've got results from that investigation. And that is also, interesting to see because every investigation you go to, you ain't guaranteed results. And that one, I think you had the most results there.
I've done other things. I got some results, but yeah, I think you're absolutely right. No matter what, you can't go to every location expect like to get something. It's highly impossible. If you watch a paranormal team or anyone that goes out, and they get something all the time, it's not real. It is fake because it's totally impossible. But that investigation alone, I got no readings on equipment. Okay, it was more physical than showing. It was more emotional. It was connecting with myself than making the light go off or making the red pod go up or go to green or red, whatever. So it's a really good investigation. It was a major investigation. I actually really enjoyed it, but the ending was a bit weird and it did actually scare me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, it was very unusual feeling.
Well, you gotta have that shivers down your spine, just to get that enjoyment, because there's no enjoyment until you feel scared, is there?
Exactly that. It's exactly that. I've still not been pushed or shoved. I'm not being pulled or, I've been marked, I've been scratched and stuff. But I've not been tugged or pushed of yet. So
I'm 2022 curse you then.
Well, hopefully, I want to be pushed. That's the thing. I want to be pushed, or I want my clothes being tugged. Because that's evidence. That's something that it was probably scare me. I'm not going to lie, but still, at the same time, that's evidence. And if I can capture that on a live, me getting tugged, you know what I mean? That's fantastic. That would be amazing.
It will be a bit scary for the viewers, though.
Well, then don't watch. It is a paranormal investigation show. It's you're watching to see stuff. So.
Oh. You might have to put in a little advisory before it happens, or after.
Yeah, well, I can't. guaranteed, anything in the paranormal, what will or what won't happen. But but yeah, it's. I'm looking forward to this year. That's what I'm saying. I'm looking forward. We've got new
Wait,
experiments and
let's
everything.
start this interview by asking, how did you get into the paranormal?
How I get into the paranormal? Well, I did a live with, I'm not sure if you've seen it, with John and Phil. I did a live the other day with them. Um, and I got into the paranormal as a young age, reading Goosebumps, the books when I was growing up, and then I got into like the unknown and the mysteries and and then that famous words, you know what I mean? What ifs, and it just got me into it, into ghosts and the paranormal. Watching movies growing up, like the Poltergeist, House, Demons, and all that. And it really got me into that sort of field, with the paranormal, the supernatural, the unknown. Then I started reading, stories of conspiracy theories and all them. And, it just takes you down the path, of what is aliens, UFOs, urban legends, and then I looked into the history as well. So I went to history of locations and and it sort of opens your eyes a bit. So I was part of a paranormal team before I started this team off back in 2018. And that sort of came to an end. It wasn't my team, and I think I was joined the team, and it sort of came to an end. I was on there for a brief stint, and then I left that one.
Did you do some pranks in that 2018 group?
Pardon?
Did he do any pranks? Did he get fired from the team?
No. It just didn't work. The team just didn't work, and it was going in a direction that I didn't want to go down. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to leave it. And then I still kept in touch with the people that was in that team, and they said, Wayne, why don't you just start your own team? And then I was literally about to start it, and then COVID hit, so it sort of set things back a bit. And then come June into 2020, I started and I launched.
And then Wayne had 20,000 applications to go through.
No, it wasn't that. It was just me, Ryan, my stepdaughter that started. That started. Only three of us. The minimum of equipment of all equipment. We had like a phone holder, a mobile, an EVP, and a torch. That's all we had. Literally nothing at all.
You've got better over time, haven't you? You invested.
We got quite a bit over time, and then we started getting my wife came on board. Vicky, my wife, she came on board. And her friend Danielle, and then her friend Danielle left because she had other commitments. So, people leave and join all the time. Then we got Helen on board, the psychic medium. She was part of us for a while, and then we just grew. We grew and grew and grew. And now today, we passed the 5,000 followers mark on Facebook. So I know it's not about the numbers. It's not really about the numbers, but
you gotta think about the numbers, because 5,000 followers, everyone be waking up in a dream and wanting those followers. So knowing that you had that, you did hard work for years to gain those numbers of followers. So
it is good. It is good. It is. No, it is. I mean, I like each and every one of them. Thank you for following. I'm truly grateful. That you have followed us. But when you concentrate on the followers and the numbers, you lose the way or the reason why do you want to do this for? Why do I want to do this? Is it just to show the followers and be there for? No, I want to do it because I want to find evidence. So you sort of rethink.
And on those bad days where you've got lack of energy, you can look at those numbers and I've got 5,000 people here following my work. I'm not gonna stop investigations for 2 weeks because I just want to do other things. You've got to be in there for the viewers.
Yeah, I mean, you can still do it full. I mean, the viewers know what I've been through. I've always explained what I've gone through for the last month or so. So they know the reasons why I've sort of set back on redoing this.
In effect, helps you carry through that paranormal skills.
Yeah. I mean, I am close to most of the viewers as well, like the ones that watch me on a regular basis, and they are really nice, and it's really nice that you got that support from them, and some of them I've made really good friends with, so it comes from more like a family network, a friendship network, and it's really good to feel
It's
that,
nice to have that, though, isn't it? It's nice to have that network coming together
Oh
when
yeah,
times
it
are
is.
hard.
It is, And I know what I've been through recently and all that, but my inbox was always open, and it's nice to get messages as well on a regular basis.
Good
Hi
evening,
Sam,
Sam. How are you doing this evening?
and it's really nice just to reach out to those, and have that sort of, because I would never have met them if I didn't do this journey. I would have never met most people that I was, on that journey that I was on, So, but like I said, 2022 is a year. I can't say too much, but it's a year of.
Hey, later in the show, I will be asking for some sneak peeks.
I can't. I'm sorry.
I will be asking for sneak peeks for our fellow viewers watching.
I'm doing it's a new angle of an investigation. Okay, anyone can be an investigator. Anyone can. Okay, it's not hard. It's not rocket science. It's just common sense and respect. That's what you need more. That respect of it. Me this year, it's all about connection with spirit. That's what I'm going to be working on with this year. Connecting with the public, connecting with the viewers. Okay, on a spiritual level, and also connecting with spirit on a spiritual level. Okay, so I did say before I left, I think I've become more spiritual than paranormal. That's how I developed. That's my journey. So I'm still going to do paranormal investigations. Don't worry, but I'm going to do it a little bit different this time round. And work a lot more with spirit.
Highly, I'm doing it for the audiences. They need some sneak peeks. They need some leaked information.
I can't. I'm sorry.
You could let it slip. You could let it slip at any moment.
I could.
But yeah, when you started the team then, or your team now, how long did it take then to get 1K followers? Now, the reason why I'm asking this is because who would use Facebook nowadays? They go straight to YouTube. What platforms did you recommend? I mean, do you use YouTube? Would you prefer YouTube?
No, I am going to be using YouTube though. I did start on YouTube, but for me, Facebook is much more easier for me to use because the people that I know are more connected throughout Facebook than YouTube. It's more of a connection platform. Facebook is okay. You got chat rooms, you got Messenger and things like that on Facebook, so it's easy to have that connection. YouTube is like a whole different audience. Every platform's got its own sort of audience in a sense.
We can build our interactivity on YouTube. It's just you got to do it on the videos pages.
Yeah. With the messages and the comments, of course. So we are looking into YouTube this year. I can't tell you what's going on to YouTube, unfortunately, but we are doing YouTube this year.
Can't you tell us?
I can't. I'm sorry, but we are going to start doing YouTube this year. Not as strong as Facebook, but it's still going to be there. We're doing TikTok as well. We got 1K on TikTok, so we're doing that as well, but not for lives. TikTok's going to be everything else. Okay, so TikTok ain't going to be. We might do an odd live here and there, cards or yes and no questions or Oracle, whatever. But I'm not going to be doing mainly investigations on there. It'll be just probably pictures from investigations, clips from investigations, little bits and bobs. So TikTok's going to be like a whole round thing, But Facebook, we got our first K in Facebook within 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
So basically, what happened? So what happened was we had a page beforehand, and the page got reported for some reason. I do not know. And it got shut down, and we was almost at 1K followers then, and that took us about a month, just over a month to get to 1K, or almost. It was like, I think it was like 995 followers or something, and then it got taken down. So I was like, my head was like,
one little teeny weeny mistake, one little teeny boo boo.
No, it wasn't my mistake though. Someone I had some bit of beef with some other team, and they reported us, and it was like for spam or something. So our page got taken down, and I had to start all over again. So I had my backup page or my group, my backup group, just in case. And we shot up. We literally doubled what we done. I think it's like 1,200. I think we done in like 2 weeks.
I think everyone in the community was sharing your pages out, Wayne. They got you
Yeah,
there.
yeah, everybody,
Triple the
yeah, yeah.
amount.
Because it's exactly. I went live, and I had a few other team like Paranormal teams that knew what happened to me, and they thought it was wrong, so they shared my page out. So that's what happened. It all sort of flown in, and like I said, when the Paranormal team community does that, that connection and that support, that is what really matters.
It does. When, viewers watching or viewers were supporting your previous pages came along to support your new page and are still supporting you now, it's incredible. Because most people
Yeah,
say, oh,
yeah.
I'll support you throughout your content, but then they don't really engage much. But those that are engaging in every video you do, every live stream, it's phenomenal. And you simply couldn't have it any other way, could you?
No, 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 definitely. Like I said, every follower or anyone that pops on doesn't even follow us, just watched us for like a few seconds and pops off. Thank you. Thank you for giving your time to click that button and to watch us.
Yeah, it's just helping you, isn't it? It's just helping the journey go go forward in your future endeavors. But yeah, a question I will ask is, what advice would you give them for beginners who wants to go into the paranormal field? Now,
Advice.
it's watching TV
Well,
shows, selected TV shows. How would you get into it?
don't overthink things. Don't expect to come into paranormal and think you're gonna get something every time, because it's not.
Aaron
It
Jenkins,
needs
how are you doing this
it
evening?
needs
Aaron Well, how are you doing?
Paranormal is all about patience, and it's all about you don't need all the equipment that I've got, and half of it this year I won't be using it. Trust me, you know what I mean. I'll be. You don't need it. All you need really is a pen, a paper, your eyes, your ears, a good camera. You don't even have to go live. You can just go out there and just just film it or take photos. Try not to take flash, because sometimes if you take a picture with flash on and you're in a dark place, you get that back glare. Okay, so it might look like an orb, but it's not an orb. It's just a glare of the lens. So try and take the natural pictures in the dark. And a good torch as well. Torch is very important. You need light, safety, and probably a first aid kit in case you are out there, you do fall over, you do hurt yourself.
Because you can't predict situations. Like you went alone on that investigation. You can't predict the scenario. So it's always gotta look after for your own safety, haven't you?
Exactly that, exactly. And don't do what I do. Don't go out. Yeah, don't go out by yourself. Try and be with at least in pairs. But unfortunately, me this year I've got no other person to go out with me. So this year, when I do go out, it'll be by myself because I've got no one else.
Well, I think you're confident enough, though, Wayne. I really think you are.
Yeah, it's to me, it's not about. I'm more scared of the living than I'm scared of the dead. So
what's the minimum budget then for equipment? Now, for a beginner, I would be talking about maybe £30 to £60 as the equivalent.
yeah, I mean, you don't really need much, like dowsing rods. You can pick them up for like tenner, if that. That's good. That's like good to have dowsing rods. If you got a bowl of water at your home, make sure you do protection beforehand. Everything you do in the paranormal, make sure you protect yourself. Black crystals, words, or whatever. And then just basically just take pictures. That's all. You don't really need equipment. Equipment's only there, like the light sensors, the EVPs, it's just there for interaction purpose. Okay, it's there for really for
It's
show.
just got to look at where you're buying it from, because
Yeah,
if the
yeah,
price
yeah, yeah,
tag
yeah.
is
Amazon and eBay, I say. Yeah, I honestly agree. Do not go to any paranormal shop unless you truly know that they are legit.
Buyers beware, as they say.
Yeah, because there are some right scammers out there. I know a few good ones that you can go to. So if you are interested, I can always let you know. But most of my stuff I get from Amazon or I get it from eBay. At least when you're on those you are protected. If it is not the right equipment or you get scammed, you are protected by eBay, you're protected by Amazon. So, you know. But yeah,
So,
the national budget.
when you sign up then your company, Spirits Within Paranormal Limited, have you took in the safety aspects, e.g., your address information is going to be leaked out for members of the public to see? Were you worried about that at first, or do you think it's just a
No,
nature?
no. I mean, in the day, I mean, if people want to come to my house and cause trouble, they can. You know, and in the day, it won't be pleasant for them. You know, so
Yeah,
I,
because many people, because it's your personal address for starters, isn't it?
yeah,
So
but
I just thought if you were maybe hesitant of doing that in the first place.
no, no, not at all. I, I don't mind. You know, if people want to come at my house and start causing trouble, then they do it. They'll just get the
What
police out
if
there.
they
I
come in
mean,
your house at 2 in the morning and they have a form a line for autographs?
no, it won't be like that. I'm not. No, I'm not doing this for fame. Not a chance. And
Ah, you
and
never
and
know. Fellow viewers
and
might turn up then.
if you want the sneak peek, yeah, we're not a business no more.
Oh,
So
oh.
we're coming away from that side. We are going free, no money.
Well, that's a very, very interesting development for 2022.
Yeah, we got no more subs. That went in 2021. We are doing no more merchandise. That went in 2021. The only thing that we're probably going to be getting is probably stars from Facebook. But
You
that
know,
will
something
be
a donation page, maybe a PayPal or something like that.
no, no. I don't know. I don't know money. I don't know money. If they want to donate stars, that's down to the viewers. You know, that's down to them. I'm not going to
You're
ask
not
them.
taking like 50p, you're just taking, invisible, like, star
No,
money.
no, no, nothing, nothing. I'll just take the star money if they want to donate stars. It's totally down to that, and then that star money I'll put back into like equipment or whatever. It won't be my benefit. I don't want to earn from this. Okay, I don't want to earn
Understand
from
it.
this. I want to
Well,
do
then
this because
it's up to the viewers then. I know they got an option through stars. I mean, that's helping as it is. But if they want to donate 50 or maybe £30, if you're a fantastic team, why are you restricting them to do that? You know what I mean?
yeah, I know, but if they want to do that, then that's absolutely fine. I mean, but I won't force it, you know,
Right.
or you got to sub
It's
this, you got to sub that.
donation.
No, like I said, 2022 is a different angle to the paranormal, and to be fair, I don't need no more equipment. You know, I've got enough of it. I'm not gonna lie, I don't
Oh,
need no
yes, you could
more.
do a
And
book signing. You could do a whole book written by the whole team,
an old book.
You could do a book signing.
The thing
There's
is,
so
though,
many different
Tom,
avenues.
I don't want fame. I don't want it. I don't want fame from this. Okay, I don't want none of that. I don't want to be on TV. I don't want to be in no magazines. I don't want no awards. I don't want nothing. I just want to do this because I enjoy investigating. That's all I
No, and
do.
I understand that because if you're doing it for the fame, your content will then slip because you think of that way too much more than what you should be giving to the viewers.
Exactly that. Exactly that. You know, and if people don't like that and they want to go and see fakery, it's their choice. You know. You know, people will watch who they feel that they want to watch. You know, so I have no judgmental on that. You know, but be careful of who you watch because, like I said, you know, not every team is legit.
Well, Wayne, before we go for our first commercial this interview, this is an interesting question I want to ask you. So I've not asked a paranormal investigating team this before. If you was defining the word paranormal, how would you describe it in your own definition?
In word paranormal,
Yeah, how would you define that?
probably I'll probably say the unknown.
So you just
You
leave it
know,
as the unknown as the definition.
unknown because no one knows for sure there is spirits. No one knows there's an another
No
side.
more sneak peek, says Kylie.
No one knows if there's not an afterlife. No one knows. You know, no one knows nothing. It's always the words "what if." Okay.
That is true,
Um,
Kylie. Most people do it in the 90s, live that 90s way. It's up to them, really, if they want to continue doing that. But, most people do it in that sort of style. So that is good for them because they're just using
yeah,
the
definitely.
sources they got in their house.
And exactly. And I feel like, you know, like I said, the unknown, because no one knows for sure. I mean, until it's your time to cross over, you know, you'll then know for sure if if there's afterlife or that's it, there's no more or whatever's out there. you will then know. Only the dead knows what's next.
Well, Wayne, do have a nice hot chocolate, and we resume this conversation right after the break. So, Wayne, are we ready for this?
I am, yes.
Excellent. So, the question I will ask is, what is your procedure on a standard investigation from start to finish?
Right. So we think a location, okay? It might be a spontaneous location, something I've been somewhere before, or we just think about what we're going to be doing. So what we do is we then talk to the team.
Thank you very much. It really is appreciated.
So the whole team have a chat, a little meeting, and we then talk about how to get there.
That could be coming, Karen. That could be Karen. Could be coming.
And then we need some figure out how do we get there? What fuel do we need? Is it how long to get there? I mean, so you got to work all that out. Figure out a time you go live as well. If you are going live, not everyone does lives, but we do. So what time we're going live, and then we got to advertise it, put it out there. Okay, get people sharing it. Then we then gather the equipment. What equipment do we need that night? If it could be a daytime investigation or nighttime, should we take flashlights or whatever, or do we just go with old fashioned? So you got to try and mix it up, and then think what's what are we doing? Then it's the protection. So what crystals you need? Do you have to say any words? Is like the Lord's Prayer, or whatever. Just you have to think about the protection and safety. Then we go to a location. We'll do the investigation. Okay, an hour and a half. I've been into investigation. I've been there for like 40 minutes and stopped because I'm not getting nothing through. You got to be real. You got to be true to yourself. Okay, there's nothing there. Then just say, guys, look, there's nothing here tonight. Sorry, but we'll try again another day.
Yes, forecasting investigation. You got to include the bits where you're not capturing anything because that's what makes it authentic.
Exactly that. So you got to basically be true to yourself and true to the viewers. And then if you do get something, then that's fantastic. Okay, then you go back, you re-watch it, you re-examine it, and you keep on examining. Okay, pass it around, share it around, see what other people think as well. Okay, if they can debunk it, you have to appreciate their opinion. Okay, because you are asking for people to debunk it or look at it.
Have anyone debunked your investigations?
Of course.
Would you ever
all
want to
the
leave
time.
a comment
All the time.
debunking your paranormal, for instance?
Yeah, all the time. People I love when people debunk my stuff. Because then it sort of puts it in the aspects of maybe that is it then. But if you think it's a literally legit picture or a voice recording or whatever, a film capture, whatever, and it cannot be debunked, then enjoy that moment because you've caught something that you won't get that much off. So just enjoy it. But yeah, and then what we do is after the investigation, we come home, probably like the next day, we then have a little chat again and go through the evidence, go through the screenshots, have a little look at this and that, and then look into the history of the place you've been to. Did you catch any names that matched each other? Did you catch the dates that match or numbers? You got to look into the whole aspect. It's okay going to an investigation, but there's a lot more work to just going somewhere. You have to look at the whole field and look at what's this and what's that.
The picture together, Wayne, the whole picture.
Exactly that. Picture. Yeah.
Which brings me to my next question on necrophonics. Now, I interview thousands of paranormal teams over the last 2 years, and 50% say they are for entertainment and you should not be using them. 50% say no, they got the technology within them to perform results within paranormal investigations. What's your view on
that? Anything within the paranormal electronic wise is a hit or miss. Any ITC app doesn't have to be necrophonics. It could be any ITC app. It's you gotta. I say to anyone that's starting out in paranormal, or anyone out there, if you're an investigator, look at the app. Listen to the app. Okay, don't go on an investigation with it. Just sit in your living room or whatever and play it. Okay, and get used to it. Right. because negaphonics and other things are programmed to say certain things on the loop. Okay, so the name William comes out constant. A woman screaming on the negaphonics comes out constant. You know, you got to look at different loops in the actual system itself. Okay, to figure out what's common and what's not.
Thing
I've
is, if
actually
you
had
pay for a you know, a product or a product to perform a certain specific function, and that's not doing it, you then got to go through the headache of asking for a refund through these third parties. And to be honest, you would save yourself the headache, wouldn't you?
yeah.
But you
I
ain't
mean,
going to test it
you have
without
to look
buying
in.
it. That's the whole thing. It's hidden behind a paywall.
You know, you got to look at it this way. Every device, every ITC app that's created by a phone or mobile, everything that is designed by electronic, okay, is all for entertainment purpose only. Okay, it's not guaranteed to give you results. Okay, it's not guaranteed to work. You know, so and most of it is built just for the entertainment to make it look good or sound good. You know, so the only true bit of evidence that you really truly need, okay, is your eyes and your ears and a pen and paper. That's it.
Well, that's the basics, isn't it? That is the basics of it.
Yeah.
Have anything went wrong then on your locations within the camera unit being powered off or turned off or anything of that kind?
Then in March, so many times, so many times.
I know that must have been
Batteries
frustrating. Even the ones that
are
must have been good results have never been captured on camera.
So many times, you know, we've had equipment go dead, like fully charged before we go, but when we're there, it's completely dead. We can't get it working. Backup batteries go dead, you know. We've had funny clips where people fall over or slide down hills and things like that, like in mud, like mudslides, you know, and we will have a little laugh about it, you know. We've been to locations where we're completely drenched, like rain so much, we are soaked, you know. Funny moments, you know. You got to always think positive about it, you know. The moment you are at an investigation and you're getting upset, angry, pissed off, you know, you're really upset, you then bring in negativity, and then that causes something else to come through. Okay, so you always got to give a light-minded while you're at a hunt. You always got to be positive, or always.
Positive, but not aggressive. That's the
Yeah,
key point.
no, never, ever aggressive, never.
Right frame of mind, right frame of investigation.
Exactly that.
So, have you ever encountered any spirits attacks while on investigations?
On investigation, no. I've not encountered one. I mean, I've had some investigations where I felt like uneased or not safe. You know, I went to a location called Wombwell Woods near Barnsley, and my God, I felt like, let's say my team was in a circle because we felt like a spirit could come at us at any direction. Okay, that's how bad it felt.
Anywhere.
It felt really, oh, it felt awful. Like most of my team won't go back there again. Like that's how bad it was. Really awful there. Really awful. The worst woods I've ever been to. And I've never been physically attacked at investigation, but like I said, I had scratch marks on my neck. I had 17 scratch marks, and I took pictures of it from my neck on my shoulder.
That
And
must have been very, very painful.
it was not pain. It wasn't like a pain. It was more like a burning or a what call it, like a frustration sort of feel. You know, like it was like irritable. Like what was that word? Irritable. I can't say it. You know what I mean? Like scratching. Like you can't. It's like burning sort of thing. But it wasn't pain like hurting. You know. But I had that, and the following morning I woke up and on the board at Bowman Park, I did an Ouija board there, and the number 17 came out on the board, and then I woke up the next day and I had 17 scratches on the neck and my literally like big scratches.
Ooh, that is nasty though. That is very nasty indeed.
It's part
So,
of the job.
but behind the fast aid, then there must be one little thing that scares you while on investigation. What's one of your fears to date? While even going on investigation, there must be one fear that you still have because we're all learning in the paranormal community. I mean, every team that's doing investigations, they're learning. So that there must be one little thing that think, this is really, really scaring me at this point, and that is not me being hiding behind that positivity sort of mindset. I'm literally scared. So
Probably
yeah.
the one that sticks out is probably Trollbridge, the one that you've shown. Right at the end of that live, like I said, I didn't know where I was. I felt that I was not. My body was there, but my mind wasn't there. And I actually told Vicky to get Ryan to come and pick me up, like straight away, because I felt so vulnerable, and it felt like I didn't know where I was. Like I said, I've been through that park 100 times. I know my way around that park
But the emotions really came out of you at that time.
Yeah, I felt that I felt, no real lie, I felt I was in the early stages of getting possessed. Because it wasn't me. I didn't feel like it was me. I felt like I was lost. And,
Have that put you off, though, maybe investigating solo?
pardon?
Have that maybe put you off, that experience from doing solo
No,
investigation?
no, because this is why we're doing this. We're doing this for life after death. That's why we're doing it, for prior evidence.
I thought maybe that might have put you off for a few months.
No,
The
no.
impact of it.
No, I was probably too tired to go on that investigation, or or there was other factors to why that happened. I can't put it down to the location. It could just be me, not enough sleep, or you know what I mean. So my mindset was probably not right for that investigation. I felt good, but probably my mindset wasn't right for that investigation. So but that was literally the worst. Walking out of that park, I felt I wasn't. I just don't know why. I felt like I wasn't there. Even on the car journey coming home,
Oh,
I
yes, the
didn't.
viewers must be edge on their seats, fearing for you.
Oh yeah, I had messages after. I had messages from viewers after. Wayne at home? Is he okay? Is he safe? I had tons of them.
Well, see, it's hearing those messages, isn't it? It's just sharing viewers. They're caring for you. Without those messages, you're thinking, I've had a nightmare, and no one seemed to recognize that.
Yeah, it was hard. I mean, I've been to a few locations where viewers turn off because they are scared.
Yeah.
So I've been to the canal down where I live, and it's called the Pusher, the Canal Pusher, a guy that went around pushing these victims in the canal at night and watching them drown. That's down right round Manchester and in West, like in Yorkshire, throughout Yorkshire. He was there. I've been to a 6-storied warehouse with potholes in every floor. I literally walked across them. That could have caved in any second, and I would have fallen 6 floors. I've been to a old factory where the walls are getting pinned up by a single piece of wood. That could have caved any second. So there are risks in what we do. But it's
as well those risks. It's not giving that journey where it should be in the paranormal, is it?
no,
It's not walking the park, is it? It's not a daisy.
no. You have to sort of like take chances. But to get to the good places, like I'm the sort of person where I'll go to a location, because most of my locations are in woods, okay, or they're outdoors, I have been to a few locations where they're indoors, and I'm the sort of person that if I go in somewhere, I want to see what's around every corner. So I will always adventure, always, and that's where the urban side of it comes out.
Yeah, that's where urban exploration is, because I'm an urban explorer myself, and
Yeah,
us we carry out the same risks. We all feel it's tempting to go into this lovely building, but we got to take along our safety risks as well.
yeah,
So
definitely. Yeah,
that's what creates urban exploration in some people, and maybe they go over the top with it, but it's just whether you can handle the injury you might sustain yourself. You know what I mean?
yeah, or
So
death.
it's do it at your own discretion, sort of thing.
Yeah, of course, of course.
But it's just carrying out that land that you're visiting takes no claim or responsibility. So it's just also knowing there's knowing your rights when it comes to that as well, isn't
Yeah,
it?
of course.
So what's your favorite then to your least favorite investigation at the moment?
Well, my least favorite investigation would probably be. It's hard, because they've all had their own sort of touch. But my
That's
least
where
favorite
Wayne comes
investigation.
in and answer the most important and difficult questions.
My least investigation is probably the warehouse, the sixth floor warehouse in Halifax. It was good. The scene was good. The warehouse itself, or the factory, was good. But we was only live for 40 minutes because we got nothing. And I know
40
teams have been
minutes.
there and they've picked stuff up, but I got no evidence. And we drove like about half an hour to get there. Sorry, and there was nothing there. And I won't force it. You know what I mean? So I've said to Ryan, look, we're not getting nothing here, mate. We're getting a few bits and bobs, but nothing really to prove that there is spirit or here. Let's just go. So that's probably my least favorite was there. My favorite investigations, I've got a few. Probably one of mine was at a IF base. I went there with another team. That's amazing. Absolutely amazing. I went there, and then probably Bowman Park. Bowman Park, because not many teams have done Bowman Park. Probably about four or five teams have done Bowman. That's including myself. Has done Bowman Park investigation. The park's that big. You can do like 4 to 5 nights there, easy, in different spots. So that's probably my favourite. Is Bowman. I'm more
There's
connected.
also finding a place that no one has done before as well, isn't it? Going through such effort, going through such time to, do your research in that respect and think, oh, no, the
Yeah.
team haven't been there. I know I'm going to be the first to investigate. Is carrying that thrill to, I'm going to be the first one today visiting this place that no other team have been to. So
Yeah.
urban exploration is kind of the same as paranormal, but it's just that if you give locations out, for instance, you don't expect anyone to tarnish it because you're not there doing exploration, you're doing it to investigate. So it's like a 2 different spin-off series with urban exploration and paranormal images.
Yeah, of
So
course.
it's 2 different distinct dishes, isn't it?
See,
But
I
yeah, it
believe
must
that
be
panel rest.
hard to find places to investigate now than ever before
Yeah,
because a lot of other teams are going to the same places. I mean, yes, every activity, you're not guaranteed to get the same, but then you got to think, I got to make it difficult now for others. I need to go to an original place that no one has been to. So it's all about carrying that
yeah,
thing.
but I feel that you should go to the same places again and again and build that energy up and that trust. Spirit. If there's spirit there, they won't just come to you one night and that's it. You got all the evidence, great. Sometimes they spirit quite a lot to come through, or their energy to come through. Maybe one night's not enough. You know what I mean? So that's why I've been to Bowman Park multiple times. And I'll probably still go back to Bowman Park multiple times because you never know what you can pick up every time you go. But that's what
You
I
do.
think that I feel paranormal investigating and urban is quite similar. I when I go to a location like an abandoned building or a warehouse, whatever, I'm a paranormal investigator. I'm there to investigate what is there beforehand. What spirits are there. But the urban side of me comes out as well. So I like to explore, go to each every room that I can go to and see what's around every corner. So that's my side of it coming out. That's the urban side coming out in me. So I'm part of both,
It's just carrying
in a
that
sense.
mystery as well, isn't it? I mean, obviously, your passion belongs with the paranormal
Yeah, of
side of
course.
it, but
Yeah.
you just can't help yourself to have a sneak peek around the corner because the
No,
building
you
you're in
can't.
is interesting enough, isn't it?
Of course. Hell yeah, of course,
But you
definitely.
just couldn't resist not having a look and saying, I haven't been to that room. I'm going to look in that room. You just can't. You just couldn't help yourself then.
Definitely. I mean, one of the best and another location I've been to was an abandoned school. It was turned into a care home. And I went there with another team, and it was amazing, absolutely amazing. The only thing is, though, the floorboards were rotten, so you had to be careful on your step. And unfortunately, my leg went right through. And if I'd fallen through the floorboards, it would have been at least 4 to 5 drop.
Oh, I bet that must have been very
That was
nerve-wracking.
scary. No, I was scared. That was like, oh my god, you know.
Yes,
Um,
abandoned school. There's so many risks compared to other properties because they probably haven't had a re-ramp in ages. They probably haven't even seen a nick of paint.
No.
So going into there, you can think about, if it's abandoned, then that's the most dangerous part of it because the flooring can simply carry a risk to you at any
It
moment.
can be, yeah, definitely,
So
definitely. And it wasn't the most safest place, but
it depends.
it
I
was
mean,
very interesting.
different schools are
Oh,
abandoned.
it was amazing. It truly was.
Yeah. A question I will ask then before we do go for our second break is, how can you tell the difference between an orb angel and a reflection of light?
An orb, an reflection of light. So an orb has its own energy source. So an orb has its own light. Okay, so you get when you're at a location, like abandoned location or anywhere, and you think, "Oh, I've got an orb," you have to take in consideration that it could be a dust particle. Okay, it could be. Okay, if you're filming, if you're taking a picture, okay, and you got some like a mirror or something at the end of the corridor, or something that gives out that reflection. Okay, it could be lens glare. So I say take many pictures. Okay, when you take a picture or whatever, take multiple pictures of the same place. Okay, you've got to take no, take 5, take 10, take 20 pictures. Then go through each and every single one of them. If that lens glare hasn't moved and it's still there, then it probably is a lens glare. Okay, or something to do with the dust, whatever. An orb will have its own pattern as well. An orb, so dust goes up and down or side to side in a shift, like it's quite. But I mean, an
Yeah.
orb has its own energy. So when an orb comes in, I've had it before where it comes like that, does that, and then it zooms off. Okay, and it's got like a tail, a streak behind it, like a mist. Okay, so that's to me that's an orb. Okay, has its own energy. A dust doesn't have its own light source, doesn't have its own energy. So that's how you tell the difference.
That's pretty interesting to know that, though. I mean, as you're a paranormal investigator, it's almost interesting to be able to tell the difference. But you've had so much knowledge of the paranormal that you could basically answer the most difficult of questions now, but couldn't back then. So that's even
Oh
more
yeah, yeah,
impressive.
yeah, definitely. No, definitely, definitely. I know. I mean, orbs are very few in between. So don't think that you see an orb every time you go to an investigation, because more likely it could be a dust particle, and you have to be honest with yourself as well. You know, we all want to capture orbs, we want to capture shadows and spirits and all that, but you have to be truthful to yourself and say, you know what, it could be this, it could be that. Okay,
That's the code of
so
practice of paranormal as well, isn't it? So
exactly
it
that.
keeps the code of practice. It builds up your reputation, and it gives you credibility, and people know you're serious. That's the three things
Exactly
about
that. And then when
celebrity.
you finally find that piece of evidence, that thing that no one literally cannot explain or what is that? That's when the buzz comes and that hype because you literally got something, you know.
Oh wait, we're going to continue this conversation right after the break. So do to get
Cheers,
ready
Tom.
for it.
The show will resume after the break.
For this.
I am, yes.
Well, before we continue with some lovely questions for you, I'm just now going to recap on some missed comments that has been coming in on the live interview. So Karen has said we've always debunked things. Very interesting to know that. Theatre is mine. That was incredible. That was from Kylie. That's pretty interesting in its own self there. Very interesting that. What's the scariest you've been? Question for both of you. Wayne, what's the scariest you've been to? And then I'll take the honor and answering it then.
The scariest I've been is probably Trolls Bridge. When I got confused, I was completely dazed and by yourself as well. Adds the fear factor to it. So yeah, probably there.
Well, I've been to a derelict pub. Now, how can anyone say, oh, that's scary? It's scary on the inside when you enter the premises, and the video is on my YouTube channel as well. Because you can uncover, you don't know what you're uncovering. You can go in there, being as confident as you are, but you don't know what discoveries you're going to make. So I
No,
have to admit, from the outskirts, it was quite scary. I was, thinking, should I attempt to go in there, should I not? And I just forced myself to do it because if you don't, you're never going to do it.
exactly
Um,
that. Yeah.
so You just got to take that courage, and you got to take that courage upon yourself and go in there with an open mind, sort of thing.
Mhm.
It's being brave and not trying. Then thinking I can do this, but you're not. So it's just about being more braver because everyone's brave at some point. But
They are,
I
yeah.
gotta admit, into it makes it worse. But it's just when you're ready to do that. So I just plucked it up and I just went in there. But obviously, other people are different, and there's no saying in that because we are all different. But there's one thing that we can bring to the table and that's different talents.
Yes, definitely.
The unknown. Very good there, Karen. Nice to see that. Wayne is very respectful to the spirits and never disrespects them. That is true, Sam. That is very true. We were concerned for Wayne's safety, didn't know where he was, and walked out onto the road. That is quite scary. I mean,
I did
as a
actually
friend,
because because I
as a
always do
friend, you
lives.
don't know what situation that is, do you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always live, even after the investigation, until I get to a safety point, so the team and the viewers know that I'm safe. I'm always live, and Ryan was there, and he had equipment, and I literally walked. Ryan described it to me like I wasn't me, like I was someone else, because I
Yeah.
walked literally straight over a bank in the road. No, I didn't look left or right. I just walked. And I had no control. And then Ryan was like, "When the car's here, buddy." So he got me into a car, and all the way home, I was looking around like,
You're like
where am I?
dazed, confused, like you're in someone else's vehicle, like you didn't recognize the person.
It was weird. It was a completely weird feeling. I've never had that ever, 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 and that was a bit weird.
Yeah, but that's the thing, paranormal brings so much things to it. You can't really go out on an investigation and think, I'm just gonna be calm and not freak out or not go out of character, because you got to show the emotion within you at that time. And
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you don't anything hiding that away from people, they're gonna think, well, this isn't quite so right here because Wayne's out of the character that he isn't in for paranormal sort of thing. Feels a bit
yeah.
weird for them to watch it. Wayne thinks he's Spider-Man sometimes. Well, that's good to know there, Karen. That's
I've
good to
got a
know.
habit of I've got a habit of climbing.
Have I got a favorite location? Favorite location I've been to. I have to admit, what I've been to recently. I've been to a abandoned hospital, and that is, from the exterior, shall I say? It looks quite derelict from the outside. But yeah, that really one was a good one I've been to recently. But apart from that, the other locations I've been to about a mining site. You'll be seeing that in a
Nice.
night's time. I've been to abandoned mining hall, something you don't come across nowadays. But yeah, or the abandoned pub I've been to when I first started Urbex. I've got so many. I've got so many. Who you gonna call? Spirits within paranormal. That does rhyme. There you are, Wayne. You got a nice slogan created just by the Ghostbusters theme. But you're
Yeah, but
changing your name now, so you can't claim that, unfortunately. You can't
I
claim
know
that.
we are changing our name. So yeah,
That's gotta be some shame in that. You can't claim
well,
something
we're
so rhyme
yeah.
as that. It really is a must claim. Back to the questions I have. And these questions do get better. They get lots better because the viewers were then finding out a lot more than they did before this podcast. So
Right,
without
okay.
further ado, what is your favorite piece of equipment that you'd like to investigate?
Piece of equipment. I have two that I like. The first one is my eyes and ears. Okay, that's got to be anyone's. In the field, your eyes and your ears. Always trust your eyes and your ears. Okay. You gotta that comes above anything you use. And my second piece that I love to use, if it was a actual device itself, well, probably my smoke box. So smoke box is probably one of my favorites that I've got. It's a box that I use smoke pellets to light. It's got a fan, and what that does is it builds the smoke inside the box. Okay, and then when I put the fan on, it blows the smoke up, and I shine different color lights onto the smoke to get that effect. And people then take screenshots of the smoke and see what faces and what they can see within the smoke.
That's fascinating.
I've had some right pictures, I'm not going to lie, like right faces.
Thing is, it sounds spooky at the same time, but that's bringing it, adding effects to it, creating your own little spin off, what your own vision on paranormal. It's just interesting to see. And
Yeah.
it's interesting to see because everyone's got unique things to bring into the community, as you just rightly said about smokes and and bringing color to it. It's all about just adding each side of it because that's what brings it a team. It's
Yeah, of
nothing
course.
run by a script. It's run by what the camera is seeing, and for what are we watching, sort of thing.
Yeah,
So there's no
of
script
course.
when it comes to paranormal.
No, there is no script, no.
So why do ghosts usually inhabit old, creaky, and drafty buildings?
See, that's the thing. They don't. Spirit is all around us 24/7. You can be in a shower and a spirit could be with you. You could be, we had a little joke about this the other day. You could be making love to your woman or whatever, and a spirit could be there. It's spirits around us 24/7. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that you go into a location, they're there. Spirit, there is no time zone in spirit world. Spirit travels unlimitedly across time and space. There is nothing to stop them. So it's just energy. That's all it is. And yeah, you might pick up original energy of someone's that used to walk there, and it could be someone's favorite location. You go to a park, maybe someone died at home. That's their favorite location. That's so their energy was to that location, a memory or something. You got to think about billions of people have died on this planet from time of man. So they are everywhere, no matter where you go. You can go on a paranormal investigation. Okay. Oh no, actually, I've actually seen this. A team in Australia that I talked to, they had a paranormal investigation over there, and they contacted someone in America. Yet they had the same spirit there. You know what I mean? So there is
That's
no time
great.
between zones. There's no limit of what a spirit can do or travel.
That's really is mind blowing. Really is mind blowing. So what's the connection in between EMFs and ghosts?
EMF is electronic mag field. So basically, it tests the electronic mag or the electronic or the atmosphere. So they say when the spirit goes next to the EMF, it goes up. It goes from green up to red or orange and then up to red. So it's like this strength. Okay, but you got to be careful because your own equipment can set it off. Okay, so cameras, mobiles, lights, even shining a light onto an EMF can set an EMF off. Okay, so you got to be careful. Okay, of you're not too close to it. And then that's what it
Or
does,
just
basically.
checking that important piece.
Exactly that. And you got to check as well where you are. Old buildings, do they still have electricity in the building behind the walls? Like if you got an EMF, it's going up. Could it be a live wire somewhere? Could it be picking up on something in the atmosphere to do with the building itself? So you really got to debunk this. You got to rethink into this and really think, you know what? And if you can, and it's nothing, and it goes up by itself, that spirit next to it, that's its electric energy making that go up.
Well, I explore it myself. That is some really fascinating knowledge. That really is. And it's good that you can share that with me and the viewers watching because they think, Wayne knows his stuff. Wayne knows what he's talking about. He knows the art of paranormal. And that is good. It's fantastic. So yeah, besides a Ouija board, then how else can people talk to ghosts?
You can talk to ghosts just by listening. They're talking every second of the day. They are talking. Mediums hear them like I'm talking to you now. They're quite sensitive to it. So you can just sit down and you can talk to them. You can ask them to move objects. That's another way of communication. Can you do this? Can you show me that you're there by moving this object. You know, you can get light sensors. You know, can you set that light off? You know, by letting me know that you're there. You know, take pictures. You know, that's a form of communication, and film is a form of communication by camera. Knock. You know, you do that thing, 1 for yes, 2 for no. You know, things like that. Interaction. You know, is spirit. But people need to understand that spirits are not clowns or not circus acts. Okay, these are actual original energy of people that used to walk this plane. So don't treat them like fools. You know, and always have respect for spirit. Okay, that could be someone's loved one that you are contacting. That's watching you.
That's what I'm
Okay,
saying.
and
If people do fake content, it's
yes,
hard
that winds
to
me
go
up.
in, and
Yeah.
you're bringing people, you're bringing people to that emotional point in their lives where they should never have to experience. But when they're watching content that isn't 100% genuine, it brings them into an emotional state.
Yeah, that does upset me when people fake stuff, because to me you are mocking spirit. Okay, you are taking the piss out of them in that sense, and it's not fair on them. You know, they are trying to. There's some spirits out there that are trying, truly, deeply trying to reach out. They've got some unfinished business that need to get a message to a loved one, that needs to get something across. You know, and if people are faking it and say, "Oh yeah," and it's not what they're trying to say, I feel sorry for that spirit. You know, it's all about being true to yourself and being true to what you can give and what you can deliver.
That's what I mean. I mean, if you go into that so much lengths in making a share wobble or making something move, you can spend more time just proving your thing generated. You know,
Yeah,
if you're
cool.
not going to do that, then you need to change your remit. You need to change you need to change what you're doing. I need to go into something different because paranormal, you don't have to follow, a script. You don't have to follow a process, but you got to make your content 100% genuine through the start
Exactly
to the
that. I mean, you can go out 7 times a week, okay, for months and months and get nothing. Okay, that's the reality of it.
if I release this, I'm going to get no viewers. Is proving your credibility. You're stuck at it for a period amount of time. That's what viewers want to see the most, because it says it proves in that video alone that I'm joining this paranormal community and I want to bring my talent into this. I want to bring my own videos into this.
No, exactly that. I totally understand.
Short, and it is no authenticity in that.
And for those that want to get into the paranormal, don't feel like you have to go live and do broadcasts and all this. You don't, okay? You can just pick up and do it on your own and keep that to yourselves. You know, you don't have to share. You can just
Yes, you
enjoy
don't need to
it.
broadcast your evidence. You can only do that if you want to take it to that next step where you want to
Yeah,
show
exactly
viewers.
that. Exactly that. Just
You can even just be a solo and record it for personal use.
yeah,
You
just
don't have to
really
be
enjoy it. Just enjoy it and have fun, but be respectful at the same time.
Yeah, it's just about being respectful. And if you're going to provide it for the viewers, just know the viewers are watching and they want to watch authentic content because, if you were connected to the paranormal yourself or know a loved one that passed away, especially now through the last 2 years that we've had, think of the emotions you would feel and like that person watching your content. You got to
Exactly that. Exactly that. It's all about that person. Exactly.
it's not upsetting what you're building, and that's the community in paranormal. But it exists as energy waves.
Sorry.
Could ghosts exist as energy waves?
Um, I believe it's. I don't believe in God, and I don't believe in the hell, devil. Okay, I don't believe truly in that. I believe that there's a positive and negative energies, and I think that we are all from the energy source. Okay, and I think there's a massive pool of this energy somewhere. Okay, but you have different levels of energy. Okay, so there's a transition process where your body leaves this soul of this energy. Your soul comes out of this vessel, because that's what we are. We're just vessels, and it goes to the next plane. Okay, then you are processed into what have you learned in this life. Have you learned what can you take with you? And then if you're ready, going through the light onto the next path of your journey. Okay, and the older the soul is, because some people got past life regression. You lived multiple lives before, the wiser you are, you know. And people say you get a certain amount of life, you know, like a cat, like you get a certain amount of lives, you know. But I don't know that.
Yeah.
I believe that your energy can be infinite, and I believe that you can live on many times. Maybe not in another human life, maybe in something else. You know, like I said, the universe is vast. Okay,
The
the
universe
universe is
goes on,
infinite.
and the energy keeps on going. That's where it is,
Yeah,
isn't it?
I honestly believe that there's life out there, and I believe that we're part of this whole giant energy source. And I honestly believe that my energy could travel trillions of light years or billions of light years in some whatever direction into another energy or light source. And I'm born again or risen again, but it's completely different. I believe that we're not connected on just on this earth. Earth is that's it. No, I believe that there's multiple lives out there, and we're just part of this whole energy source.
Well, that is good to know because you put viewers questioning the same, can ghosts transmit to energy airwaves or energy waves, and it's just good to know that you can because energy will keep on rolling, same as the
Yeah,
years.
that's what I believe, you know. But like I said, we won't know for sure until it's our time, you know. Like you won't know. It's always what
We
ifs.
won't officially know, but it's some knowledge to that point of view as well, isn't it? It's just
Yeah, of
giving what
course,
you
definitely.
know about it, because it is paranormal radio. But yeah, on a serious note, then we're going to talk now about card readings because this is like the next level for paranormal, as we can see on Spirits Within. Well,
Yeah, like you can see them behind me, like here,
yeah. Now,
all my
I'm just going to
cards.
ask this question because viewers might actually want to know this because I've not seen viewers ask this before. I've not even seen anyone technically ask this question before. So I'll be the first one as the paranormal radio host to ask it. How long does it take then, on average, to learn card readings and to confidently host shows about the calls? Because you're giving, results from cards, like tarot card readings, but you got to know what you're doing with that, haven't you? You can't, host a show and then make a mistake because you got that pressure then, haven't you? So how long would you say
Cards
you
are
learn the steps?
Yeah, I mean, I don't do tarot cards. I want to learn them. I'm not gonna lie, I do want to learn them, but I'm not comfortable with tarot cards. Okay, I have tried in the last few weeks or whatever to try and I'm not what I'm said comfortable with them. Okay, I don't get a connection with cards, but with oracle cards, I do. And with an oracle card, I'm not a psychic medium. I never claim myself to be one. Okay.
Yeah.
But things have happened when I've done cards. Okay. I've done readings for people and I sort of tap into their energy, into their emotions. And that's why I think I've developed more of an empath than anything. I'm taking people's emotions. And I've done a few card readings that
Yeah.
scared me. I'm not gonna lie, that really knocked me for six, where I got a habit of sometimes drawing people that I see. And when I say I see, I don't talk to, I don't have no communication with. It's I see images and I see people sometimes just sitting on my sofa or looking at me or whatever. And what I do is I don't see full body apparitions at all. I just see partial facial or like if their nose stands out or their eyebrows or their chin stands out. I see different features and it's mainly feeling that I have than just actual seeing them. It just feels, you know, that they're there and it's weird to explain. Anyway, I've done this before where I've drawn what I see and I show the viewers. And then the person I'm doing the card reading for, I find out it's for them, and they send me a picture privately of their loved one, and it matches, you know. So
Hmm.
things like that, and that knocks me for six. You know, I done card readings. This lovely lady in America, and I said to her for a card reading, I said to her, I sent muffins or some bacon or something like that. Like I don't know why I said that, but I felt at the time I had to say that, and it turned out that she bakes special muffins for her husband because he's got a heart condition. So
Oh,
things like that, like things happen that you can't explain. you know. But with cards, I always say what's on your mind, like say it from the heart. If you got to say it,
Yeah.
it might not mean nothing, like completely over the person's head, you know, like I don't understand that. But 9 times out of 10, lay it down. Now we think about, oh, something happened here. Oh, that person said that was going to happen, or you know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean it's going to happen now. It could
Yes,
happen.
what do you do like live shows then, for instance? Let's move on to the live bit because if you want the interactivity and you want to provide a result for the ones that have lost loved ones and to give them that hope, give them that energy boost. I think they have left a positive message behind. Do you feel kind of under pressure when you go in live to do that? Because if
No,
you make
no, because
more, you do this,
I
it
say
might
what,
might bring them
yeah,
all
I
down.
say what's on my mind, you know, or how I'm feeling, you know, whatever comes through, whatever I feel, I say, you know, and sometimes it's non-nice, sometimes it is. You know, I do a lot of I sometimes do the yes and no question coin. I have a coin that I spin and people ask me questions, you know. But like I said, if you don't like the answers to the question, then don't answer the question, you know. So it's down to the viewer as well to take some sort of responsibility in answer the
So
questions.
you might not like the answer. Don't ask that question. Where you want.
Exactly that. You know, I'll always be respectful, and I'll try to be my highest best to give the positive out there. You know, but sometimes it can't always be positive. You know, so there's got to be a balance in what we do. You know, so just come in it and remember, I'm not a psychic medium, so
So
please don't
that would be
think.
that does sound like a good place there, Alcatraz. I've not heard of it. Alcatraz.
Alcatraz in San Francisco in America.
Let's go.
It was a prison.
Oh, I see. Yeah, my mother-in-law has been. She said it's not a good place. If it's a prison, and it wouldn't really, on paper, be a good place. It's
I would say to you, right, Tom, research it. Every investigator that I spoke to wants to go there.
interesting. I'll have to
Yeah,
go there
it's amazing.
in Pennsylvania to visit the Impelia Castle.
Yeah, Vlad the Impaler Castle. It's on a hill on the side of a cliff.
Oh my. Sounds like a road trip. Well, that does definitely sound like a road trip then. Oh, that anyway. But that's what brings the fears, isn't it? You got to do something totally out the box because it shows you as a person, doesn't it? Definitely, Karen. I'm still here. I don't know if it's fading in and out or not, but if it is, it's only a quick 3 second sort of outage, and then it will come back on. Then, thanks for telling us that, Sam. Thank you very much. Um, I agree. When at the end of the day, the spirit of someone's loved one, definitely. I was told I was a Native American warrior in the past life and have a Native American spirit guide. That is a nice message there. That is lovely. Wade is amazing with Carl, so is Kylie and Zoe and Karen. There we are. Wayne, you got a nice Spirits Within family right there in front of you. Really is nice. But yeah, we're going to leave it as that, and we're going to go to another commercial break. And when we return, Wayne, it's your turn that you can ask me some questions because I still got loads of questions to ask you. I'm hoping you're ready for it. Wayne, are we ready?
Yeah, I'm ready, mate.
Do you have any questions you wish to ask me?
Yeah, I do. What have you got any interest of doing a paranormal investigation?
So, guys, sorry, I think
I
the
okay.
connection must have broke.
I said, do you want to do a paranormal investigation? Have you got any interest into doing one?
Well, I personally don't, and that's my honest opinion because I'm an urban explorer. That's where the passion comes from, is the urbex. I mean, most people say, well, if you do a net cap, have the basics to investigate with. But no, it just wouldn't be for me.
Right. Okay.
It wouldn't be for me because that passion for paranormal as such as that regard. I've got a passion for watching other teams and watching their content and doing podcasts
Yeah.
as well. Doing podcasts, I love it. I did do a collaboration with a paranormal team just to give a little demo, just to get a little inside sneak preview of what paranormal is like. But no, I couldn't do it long term. I really couldn't. But yeah, I hope that answers
Okay.
that question.
That's fine. That's fantastic. Have you ever had a paranormal experience by doing a urban explore, like something that you couldn't understand or something's happened that sort of like, well, what was that?
Oh, so I mean, have I heard anything while I'm on an urban exploration?
Heard, seen, felt? Yeah.
Um, I wouldn't say I heard anything because generally, I mean, you might hear birds whistling, you might hear, the feeling of something's coming closer or that feeling. I might as well might have experienced that once or twice. But you would in urban exploration, you would witness that. Um, but no, I can generally see while I'm out exploring. I generally can't. But you never know the future. You never know what the future can bring for urban exploration. I could
No,
see
of course.
something. I could hear the imaginable. I could feel the unimaginable. But that's what urban exploration is. It's different every time you go.
That is, yeah, definitely. My next question is, um, what got you into being an urban explorer?
Well, that is a very good question, and I've not occasionally heard that question before. I did answer this though on my stream, so it might be worth watching for those viewers who might have missed that. But yeah, how I got into that urban exploration is because I've been watching urban exploration teams. I can give a few top abandoned places, Wayne's Worlds of Explorations, I think it's called. Um, I think there's a field I have on the show quite often. Bearded Reality as well as another one. So I watch a lot of urban teams, and everyone I didn't even name is fantastic. I'm not singling out anyone, but yeah, watching it over time, if they got that nerve, if they got that confidence, like places, like pubs, hospitals, asylums I've been to. There's loads of places I've been to, and I haven't looked back since because it's. But if you can't find places, that's the reality of urban exploration. You got to spend more time then researching and spending minimal time or spending little time in rationing it out. So it's content. Well, it's more content going for the future months. But yeah, I wouldn't say that's an issue because there's loads of things I could be doing different. But yeah, that's my passion, and I've done it since May last year, and I've got content now way up through April and ahead of time.
Nice, absolutely fantastic. Thank. Um, what advice would you give to anyone that's want to be an urban explorer or want to get into it?
What advice would I give? It's hard really because my advice would differ to a lot. My first advice would be be yourself, be committed, and be willing because it's not going to be a 5 minute job. You do have to research. I've done it, and trust me, it's never 5 minutes. And if it is 5 minutes, it's because urban exploration tee out locations where they shouldn't be doing, because obviously then that can be trashed further. It can then decrease, um, what is supposed to be showing, or what is supposed to be shown in terms of the history, and it can be trashed further. So I don't recommend it, but each to their own and each to their own choices.
That's fantastic.
This is a reality as well. If you spend more time in the research, you're guaranteed to get an original location. that no one have been to. And I can safely say I've done my research. I've been to a place no one's been before. Um, and that's something I can be proud of myself because I've done the hard work for. Um, but apart from that, if you've got the time, the willing, the effort, and you're confident, and you actually have that interest in urban exploration where you can document the history, take photographs, I think urban exploration will be for you if you meet this specific requirement. Patience will avert you.
That's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. My next question is, what's the most scariest experience you've had doing urban exploring? Like we've seen some people go into cave systems and stuff. We've seen people go to heights that are crazy, like balancing on roofs and stuff. So, what's the most scariest thing that you've done, but you're proud of?
Scariest thing that I've done. I can't say I've done a scariest thing, to be fair. I mean, all right, there was a minor little incident. I was watching where it was going. But yeah, on my first explore, there was a piece of floorboard missing from the top floor. If that came further, and the second lot came down with it, like, so that is horrific in its own self. Luckily, nothing like that happened, although you carry that risk. I took the
Yeah,
risk because I was kneeling on my one foot to test its sturdiness. So that accident, if I did feel it's a threat to life, and I'm not one of those urban explorers thing, if I go down there now, I could, break my leg. I'm not going to do that on that assumption because I value my life more. But some goes over the top, and I praise them for that because they take in a lot more confidence in lives to do that. But me as an urban explorer myself, I wouldn't advise it. I really wouldn't. But yeah, I suppose that's the most scariest thing I've done. I've been proud of. I mean, it's minor, to say the least, but I'm happy I done it because I explored more things in that place alone. So yeah, that was something there.
and apart from urban exploring and doing YouTube and doing this, what else do you do to pass time or hobby wise or have fun?
What I do to pass time. Um, well, I do photography as well. So I take photographs of my urban explorers. I put them on my website. I don't put the history on them. So if people are wondering what's the history of this location, because a lot of the time people don't read descriptions. So I put them on my website so they're readily available um, for people to read. Um, I don't know how many people read them because but I think if people are interested, they'll go further, find out information, and dive into the world of knowledge. Because it really is interesting. I document everyone. Some you might not get history on, some you might, some you get loads, but
Yeah,
that's the top of the coin, really. But apart from that, I go out and film other content. I do shopping centers. I do bus stations. I do everything, because I'm solely here to provide a service that the public would want to watch. So whether it's urban explorations, whether it's podcasts, whether it's me reporting different things, I do that because it's in the public's interest at the end of the day, isn't it? I mean,
yeah, of course.
if I get minimal views, if I am interested in different things, I'll change it wherever I can. But I accommodate to the viewers with what I can bring to the table, if that makes
Yeah,
sense. I'm not going to be doing something that I don't want to do something like that. Yeah, I just socialize. Now and then I have socializing events, meet friends, the general thing. Because, you've got to make time for everything, haven't you? Friends, family, and your hobbies, then your YouTube, and then other things.
yeah, of course, definitely. My next question is, I know my next question actually. My next question was there. It's now flying away. Um, basically, I've, well, I was going to say something. It's completely gone. I had a question as well. It was pretty good. Oh yes, that's it. Um, it's been quite tough exploring paranormal investigating for the last 2 years due to COVID and stuff like that. How have you managed? Still do urban exploring, and is it like, do you take in COVID risks and stuff like that because other people's been there, or do you just go out and do it? How do you cope?
That is a fantastic question, actually. I never get these many questions in before, but I can tell you well prepared. But yeah, for the last 2 years, content creators, have been pushed to their utter limits with what they can provide because of COVID. Teams will do it anyway. I'm guessing they will keep themselves safe in that event. Um, but for the last 2 years, I've done urban exploration. I've done podcasts. That's my main. I think I've already done podcasts. I think I've done podcasts, but my main staple for about a year and a half, sort of thing. I'm still carrying that now because now I can go out and film content. So it's a little bit different in that regard. But should that come myself and others to do it where it's deemed safe. So if it's going into places I've been to on my first explore, you would wear the appropriate gear. You would wear gloves. You would wear what is appropriate to protect your own
Yeah,
self. Urban explorations, wherever you go to, carries germs. It does. So it really is up to you, really, if you protect yourself or not. But then you are aware of what's around you, and that. So it's yeah. So I would do it. It depends.
Sorry, Tom.
It's fine, Wayne. I'm trying not to be boring. I really am trying.
no. It's someone doing a team call. I don't know why, because I'm live. But my next question is then, what's next for you? What's coming up? What could we look forward to seeing you doing in the future?
Well, in urban exploration, that's give you some hope then on the next couple of months. The question I will ask you, Wayne, is have you watched
Sorry, Tom, you're breaking up there. Sorry.
any of my explorations?
Have I watched any of yours? Did you say?
Yeah.
No, I haven't. I have been on your channel though. I did go on your channel before coming on this live, and I have saw a glimpse of the pub that you was on about. And you actually interviewed a lady that I've got a future live with as well on the 2nd of February, Rose from America, Rosie. So I have got. She's actually interviewing me as well on the 2nd of February. So, but yeah,
Really
apart from that,
interesting.
no, I haven't seen much. No, but I will be. I will be watching.
Yeah, I do loads of interviews. So the one I've been to was a derelict factory. You've got an abandoned chapel coming up. I've been to a derelict job centre as well. I've been to an abandoned supermarket, which you've got this Sunday coming up as well. Mining site that's also following up. I've been to everything and everything.
Nice. And then my last question is: have you been with any other urban explorers that are well known in the field?
Have I collaborated with any urban
Yeah.
explorers? I haven't done any collaborations with urban explorers. Funny enough. Obviously, I'm not the one really to reach out or do you want a collaboration with me because I'm happy to do it solo. But if anyone did want to have a collaborate with me, obviously you would do. You think if it's pretty genuine, you would review their content and see if it matches the same sort of
Yeah, of course.
level, like see if it matches, see if we get on, sort of thing. So you would see what their style is like. You would judge it against your own and see if if that is a chance. But yeah, I haven't got any collaborations with any urban explorers. Perhaps it's early in the field for me. I'm always open. I'm always open for any collaboration requests. But I will always prove if you're authentic first, if you are a genuine inquiry, or if you're not, sort of thing,
Yeah, of course.
Because I wouldn't just team up anyone with randomly because you just don't know what their ulterior motives are.
No, of course.
So it's just that really. But no, I haven't done any collaborations. But Wayne, we never know what 2022 can hold, do we?
Yeah, of course. Definitely. Definitely.
But Wayne, I must say that is a nice set of questions today. I think you've been well prepared hours before this live stream.
Do I just no, I just thought, you know what, let's just go with it. So I've not prepared any questions.
Well, you had some good ones. You really did, and that is great. It's great. So yeah, let's resume with now some paranormal questions because I'm sure viewers would want to know more about it. So yeah, what are your thoughts then for charging for a home in-rest? Do you think it should be given for free? Do you think charges should be brought for that service?
What for cards? Do you mean cards and
Home
tarot cards?
investigations, home in-rests.
I believe that it's down to the team themselves. I believe that I don't want to say too much because I used to charge, and all that, so for events and that. But I've only done one event, But personally, it's your hobby. Okay, it's your.
Those comments come in from the chat.
I just feel like it's your hobby. Okay, so you should fund it. I'm not going to go out there and play football for a club and expect my viewers at home to buy my boots or buy my kit for me. You know what I mean? Or I'm taking up golf, they can buy my clubs. It's your hobby. I feel like you should fund it yourself. Okay, you're going to a location, you fund it yourself.
A break, or I don't know what that question refers to. You need be a bit more specific there, Karen. If it's because of the differences in the screen to the live broadcast, you might have to press that live tab on your device, so then you're ahead of time, sort of thing. But no, I don't really get what that question refers to. But yeah, Wayne, back to you.
Yeah, so I feel that it should be free. I'm the biggest one in the world that I feel knowledge should be free. You should never charge for experience or knowledge. Okay, education doesn't cost nothing. And most of the paranormal is self-learned. So why would you charge others to learn that if you taught yourself for free? So I'm like, I know I understand people got to have a business and they do this, do that, but to tell someone their future or their past or anything like that, I don't believe you should charge. It's knowledge. It's a gift given someone else some form of way, But if people want to charge, like I said, I don't make that like they're wrong. If people want to charge, let them charge. It's everyone to do themselves. It's none of my business what people do. But me personally, from my side, that's why I come away from the money side of stuff. Because I don't want to charge. And I felt bad in doing it in the first place. That's why I came away from it. So. But yeah, I can only speak for myself.
If you live, a very long distance from the homeowner to where you live, you can just about justify that in a sense. Although, in fairness, I think what the process should be is don't force it upon the homeowner to give you money to come to their address. What you could use is, there's a donation page if you want to fund it, or if you want to give money or anything, you can use that PayPal page sort of thing. So there's different things that can go around that route if you want to claim funds, but you just wouldn't say, I need £120 to come 4 miles to come to you. You wouldn't do
Yeah,
that.
I wouldn't investigate widespread anyways. For myself, let's say if I had someone I live in Huddersfield. Let's say I had someone living in South Sheffield. Okay. I then got to pay for a coach ticket or a train ticket to get down there and do this, do that. It'll cost me a bomb, okay, to do that. But if I know someone that's near them, I said, look, I can put you in the direction of another paranormal team that could probably help you
Oh, I
out.
see.
Okay, so I
Well, give them
wouldn't
a
travel the country to
references
go
of where they
investigate
can
someone.
contact them, can't they? If they're not living in the vicinity of your area, you can give them on a different path, can't you? Which is
Exactly
good.
that, and
Good
and
how you
and, and there's
protect
pl- and there's paranormal teams up and down the country. Near enough in every town, they've probably got some form of panel investigation going on. So, or
it
team
is, it's
going on.
just
So,
being nice, isn't it? Just being kind-hearted and, giving them that different alternative route to contact, for that. So it's good to
exactly
see that
that. It's exactly that. If I can get there, I'll get there. But if I literally cannot, then I'll pass it on. So, but I wouldn't charge. Even for home investigations, I won't. I I can't. I feel that this is my hobby. This is my passion. I won't have anyone else pay for it.
it's good though. It's good to say that because it really means so many people say, oh, they can contact you openly, and they know what sort of advice they'll receive. That they won't leave the inbox feeling like I've not had good service. You know what I mean?
No,
So,
and I reply to everybody. Everyone that comments and messages me, I always reply back.
and that's showing the Wayne positivity. That's showing the true art of Wayne. But yeah, what is your view then? Because I know this has happened to yourself of claiming to offer a service like a home investigation, but really they're running a scam. Now, what sort would you look for in the event of that could be too good to be true, and yet money has already been handed over? What's the rights then you may have to claim that money back, for instance, or to watch out to say, if it could be a scam sort of related.
Well, yeah, I always advise people to look into the person's background. Okay, how long have they been in the field for? What experience have they got? Look on any lives. They've got a Facebook page, website, things like that. Okay, you got to really dig deep into a team and find out, are they legit? First off, you know, do they have any insurance? Liability insurance. Do they have health and safety scheme as well? Like first aid. If they're claiming to be a business, they should have all this in place. And a certificate as well to claim that they are an actual business. Okay, but if they, and then let them in your home. No investigator should charge in advance to go in someone's home. If you are charging, okay, they should do a examination first. They should go around there and do like some form of interview, okay, and find out what's what. Do a bit of digging, for themselves. Go to the rooms that have got the activity in. Do a little like a little self-awareness check sort of thing, like a checklist sort of thing, and then if the owner wants to go forward with it, then that's down to the owner. It's down to them. But I
There's
don't
all
feel that you
respect
should
their
charge much.
privacy as well. I mean, if you'd ask, could I record in here? You'd ask that before
Oh
you
yeah, yeah,
release
yeah, yeah,
any
yeah. I mean,
you
I
on
would
there.
never go live in someone's home. So we had a home investigation. We went there, and we had two, and each one I never ever one charged, okay, and two, I always ask permission. Can I take pictures in this room? Can I take pictures in that room? Just as photo evidence. But I would never do a live broadcast in their home. Never.
That's just out of respect, isn't it? That really is.
Exactly that. Yeah.
They because the homeowner would feel a little bit off-putting if you're there with cameras
Even
for
if the home,
prior
if
permission.
even if the homeowner went, yeah, it's fine, you can go live. Well, I still wouldn't do it because it's out of it's their home, it's their private home, it's their safe area.
It's just like I said earlier in the broadcast, being respectful and taking in that homeowner's um respect and not really going in there just thinking about yourself. You got to think about the homeowner. So
Exactly
that's
that.
the
Yeah.
sort of mindset you need to be in at that time. But yeah, what are the top 5 areas you would investigate? Because I know graveyard's the most popular, but what's your top 5 areas?
For me, it's woods. I love woods. Woods are uh, full of energy. Okay, from the soil to the trees. If you've got water nearby, a stream, a river, a lake, you know, water's fantastic energy that brings the old atmosphere. At night time as well, in woods under a full moon, it's the most eerie place you can be. It's absolutely amazing. Then I would probably say churches. I love church are amazing. Graveyards are okay to do as long as they are abandoned. Okay, if you go to a active grave, I've been to an active graveyard and I felt very out of place being there because they are fresh loved ones have just passed and been buried there. So you need to be safe and knowledgeable of the viewers around you and the people in the area that you are visiting as well. They don't want their loved one's headstone broadcast over social media. So you have to be thoughtful in that sense. But I have been to abandoned a graveyard. A graveyard that I go to is called Forgotten Graveyard. It's about 1800 and it hasn't been used since 1860, I think it is, 1870. So it is quite abandoned. And so, yeah, so graveyards are great to go to, woods graveyards. Then I would probably say derelict buildings, but make sure they're safe to go in first, have a little look around, but do not break in. Breaking an entry is definitely not right.
As
Okay.
I
If
say
you
in urban exploration, if you can't see an open door or anywhere where you could technically call that access point, don't tamper with it and don't just force your way in.
Exactly that. No, I totally agree. I mean, I always feel myself going in and feel myself coming out. I always do. Okay, so I got myself to be protected on as well in case the police come or what. I know there's a big thing at the moment about trespassing and you shouldn't go into someone's derelict because it's owned by someone else and all this. It's down to that person
Every land
what
that
they
you go
do.
on is owned by someone, but trespass law, all right, we've got some flexibility, we've got some control over that in this country. Other country haven't got that privilege. So it's all
Yeah.
about knowing your laws and knowing your rights, and just
Exactly that, and always be respectful. I don't judge anyone. If someone's going to abandoned location, they can go into abandoned location. I've done it in the past. So it's down to that. It's down to that individual. So yeah, I'll say abandoned location. Then I would say probably my number four would probably be history buildings. History buildings. So you got churches, but I mean like World War II buildings, castles, things like that. Okay, things that you can like not do an investigation, but just have a little walk around, like a museum, things like that. That's got artifacts and history objects in their walls. How many spirits are connected with those? You got someone's mirror or someone's I know, some sort of horse carriage or something that someone got killed by, whatever, in a museum. The energy around that, you know what I mean? So it's just little things, that are in museums, like dolls and things like that. So definitely. And then the last one will probably be antique shops.
antique shops.
Antique shops, yeah. Because most loved ones that pass, all charity shops, antique shops, charity shops, things like that, most loved ones pass. Some of their objects that they had that they'd hold on to normally get donated to to charity shops or antique shops. So the connection, with that object is still there, and then people then go into these charity shops, antique shops, buy the item and take it home to their house. So it's like that energy is getting spread across.
It carries historic meaning. That's what it means. It carries historic
Yeah,
meaning.
yeah, yeah. So but yeah, like I if it's abandoned, I'll go there. If I can get in. If it's woods, I'll do it. Anywhere I'll do. Just if
Well,
it's got
we're now going to go for our final commercial break of this podcast. and we'll be conducting our last and final part of the interview. How are you enjoying it at the moment? Are you enjoying being back on the air with your
Yeah,
family?
I am actually. I am. I am missing it. I am. Like I said, I do bits and bobs, but I don't do no investigations or whatever. But I am enjoying this definitely.
It shows the true art of Wayne just by live on camera.
Cheers.
The show will resume after the break.
Wayne, are we ready for this?
We are, yes.
Excellent. You ready for more questions? Mind-boggling questions.
Okay.
There we go. So do you believe in astrology then?
Yes.
What makes you believe that?
I believe that the unity it's all about the universe. It's we can't be the only living planet in the world, in the universe. It's impossible, you know. You got to think about it. There's billions of galaxies like ours. There's trillions of suns like us in each galaxy. Each sun has got or could have planets rolling around it like our own. And we are the only living thought out there. If we thought that, there would be a very lonely world. You know what I mean?
That's what I mean. It's all about having different thought patterns as well, isn't it?
Yeah. And I believe as well the stars give us way of coordination and how to live. Take the Egyptian pyramids. Each of the Giza pyramids, the three are in the row, are in line literally on point from Orion's belt. People used to sail the seas by map charting stars. We've always used the stars as some sort of way of life and a way of thinking, and so I'm a big believer. I'm a big believer that there's more to the universe than we've found yet. So
That's what I mean. The universe is, it's growing, isn't it? You can discover so many things. Different days could be different. Every day could be different.
exactly. I mean, most of the stars we look up there now, because light travels, across the universe, takes billions of light years to get to us. So we look at the stars now. Half of those stars we look at are no longer there. It's just the light source is traveling still towards us.
It is. It's good though. It's good to know that light travels to you because it makes you have a glimmer of hope, doesn't it?
Exactly, and that's what I mean. Our soul, we travel as well. So I don't know.
What's your views then on UFOs, aliens, and witchcraft?
Witchcraft is completely different to UFOs and aliens. I believe witchcraft is used for all sorts, good, bad, light and evil. I think witchcraft. So I'm not really I'm not really knowledgeable about witchcraft, but I do want to get to know witchcraft. Okay, I really do. I'm really interested in it. But that's something else. But UFOs and aliens and stuff like that. I believe that, like I said, we are not the only living species out here in the universe. It is too fast for us to be the only one. It'd be a very lonely place if we are, I believe life is out there. Okay, it could be in different forms. We breathe oxygen, we drink water to stay alive. And maybe an alien doesn't do that. Maybe alien does a different way of staying alive. So I believe that, have we been visited by aliens? Hell yeah, we have. I believe that some things you see today are alien looking like fish. You know what I mean? There's some fish that was digged up from the Trana Trench under the sea, and it looks weird. It looks absolutely weird. Like it's not a normal fish. It looks alienated. Plants. Some plants don't look how they should look, kind of alienated, so I believe that we are living among them as well as they're visiting.
So, do you believe you're from a different planet?
I believe we could possibly, the human race in general, life on Earth could come from somewhere else. When Earth first formed and actually evolved, when it very first days, the actual moon we see up there, a massive planet, sorry, collided with the Earth, you know, and it formed the Earth as it is today with a moon. You know, that's what we are taught. Maybe that planet had alien life, maybe bacteria or some sort of alien life on it, you know, and we evolved. It's all about what's ifs. No one knows for sure where we come from or how man got onto the Earth. We're going to say from microbacteria in the sea, it evolved into the apes, and the apes came to us. You know, it's what's if. Unless you've got a pure time machine, you can go right back and watch how it all begun. That's the only way you are going to know how we came to this planet. But could we be from other planets? Yeah, it is a possibility. We can, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's about not doing your research and researching it thoroughly.
Exactly that.
And I think you'd be inspired by researching that because it's, everyone's got a different opinion, as yourself, as many others. But it's not about an opinion that matters, it's about your opinion that matters. Everyone's got an opinion. And it's just not soling out one person's opinion when yours could be different. So just got to hold two pieces of the puzzle together and to get your answer, basically, It's whether you want to know that is another good thing. So have you faced any criticism then from doing what you're out to prove, e.g. online, trolling, have you ever witnessed that? Since
Yeah, we get the old troll now and then. You know, we get criticism no matter what we do in life. You know, it could be paranormal, it could be anything you do in life. People will always put you down. That's a toxic world we live in, in today. You know, if you're a threat to someone, they will put you down for that. You know, it's in the paranormal. It's not about who's the best team because there is no best team out there. There is no experts in the paranormal. You know, there are professionals, as in got qualifications in whatever field that they are in within the paranormal, but there's no expert in what we do. It's all about genuine knowledge and experience, So I feel that myself, yeah, I've got lack of experience, probably solid in the field for like 20 years. But are they better than me in the paranormal because they've been around longer? No, because we pick up on things. We investigate differently. No one team is the same.
Learn on the job. It's learning as you go with paranormal.
Yeah, it's all about learning. You might do something, and then next time might be to do something completely different. Trying to weigh up weigh it up. Every location's different. So no one location's the same. Everyone investigates differently. I might use red light for transfiguration, and someone might use green or blue light for transfiguration. No one's the same. Everyone's different, and that's the respect that you got to have in the field, and you got to have respect for the field. You may not get on with everyone in the paranormal field, and it does happen. No one. It's like in your day-to-day job. You go to work, you can't get on with everyone. That's just life. But I think the aspects of the respect's got to stay there. Yeah, I might not like someone or get on with someone, but I still respect what they are trying to do. And that's the difference,
There is. Which leads me to this interesting point of question, really. What can go wrong in the paranormal community? Because, there could be online trolls that we experience on a daily basis, and it could be teams publicizing an argument between another team. What can go wrong, and what can cause that friction to occur?
Well, basically, ego is a massive thing in the paranormal. People think they're better than everybody else, and money as well. People want to make buck in the paranormal. They want to make money, and some teams just go and does it for money. They don't, and I'm not interested in the paranormal at all. It's all about earning. And I feel that is completely wrong. That shouldn't be a factor in the panel. If it does happen, you want to try it and whatever, that's fine. But every team does, like I said, every team does things differently, And I might not agree to what people do.
A divide, can't it, between yourself? Because I expect.
Oh, it can a massive divide. Hell yeah, it can.
So many paranormal teams, and they can split a divide between you, and they shouldn't be. They shouldn't be doing that, should they? But that's what I mean.
No. I when
when
ego takes over, you should not be doing paranormal, because then that causes problems. You think you come better than that, and then your followers, your loyal ones, start with the drama as well, and they go from team to team, and it's just gets a bit out of hand, and it's wrong, it's totally wrong. I feel that if you can't say nothing nice, don't say nothing at
create
all.
content by splitting teams or causing a divide between the community, because you can't, can you? Because why would
No,
you?
I mean, I say now the paranormal community is broken. It is totally, it's toxic, and I feel that you only are good with a select
Putting
few.
on top more flames on that broken split puzzle or
Exactly that. It's
on
exactly that. I mean, some teams thrive on drama, okay, and they love it. Okay, they absolutely love it, and that's where they get their views from. Okay, people don't watch them because of their investigation. They watch them. What's happening next? Who are you upsetting now? What's happening here? And that's taken away why you're doing it in the first place. You know what I mean? So you need to really think and take a step back and think, why am I here? Why am I still doing this? Okay, if you get to that far down, and if you have got an issue with someone in the field,
you wouldn't do it on public.
okay,
You wouldn't host it on YouTube, and you just wouldn't do it. You wouldn't go down that route to
not public,
publicly.
no. I mean, I went public a few times last year, and towards the end of the last year as well, and I do regret that. That's not me. That's not how I cope with things, and I've deleted all the negativity videos from my channel, and or for the last few months at least, and that's
Thing
how
is,
I want
the
to go
thing
into
is, people want
2022.
to appreciate that because because if anything, it'll decrease your credibility. This channel has turned into drama all of a sudden.
Yeah, you just want to stay
You've got
away from that sort of
keep
side of things.
drama
Yeah.
away from the cameras and do it man to man, or you
Yeah,
know,
and that's what I
no,
was gonna do. How I'm gonna do it from now. I had done it like that in the past. I private message people and stuff, and trying to sort things out beyond the live. And I've done it quite a few times like that.
that's the
Towards the
key.
last end of the year, I didn't do
Right way
that,
to
and
get a resolution, and and to be civil. As long as
yeah,
you
and
don't.
I was very disappointed in myself for doing how I went. Okay, and that's not how I do things. And like I said, my mental health was playing up a lot, and I wasn't thinking straight, and it wasn't me. So and I totally apologize for how I acted. So like I said, 2022, my lessons have learned. I've come in 2022 with a clear mind, and if my name's not mentioned in anything, doesn't concern me. I'm not interested.
Thing is, what if people are seeing things about yourself? It's within your all right. You might want to find out. Sometimes you might not, depend on the severity of it, I suppose. And you have the right to to defend yourself should you not agree with what's being said. But
Tom,
is
people say stuff about you all the time, no matter where you are, what field you're in, no matter what job you do. People always talk behind your back. It's just life. It's
oh
just
yeah,
how
you can't stop that. But I'm saying if it's on the public domain where everyone can watch it,
then
you
it's
have.
down to, and then I feel it's down to the viewer to choose. I will never go live and broadcast it. If I hear someone's
You wouldn't have claims to it, but I'm just saying, depend on severity. If it doesn't matter if it's a different topic or if your names come up randomly. It just depends on the severity of that
Yeah,
discussion.
and I will message that person privately if it ever happened, and I'll say, look, this is not on. You want to talk about it, please message me. If they don't reply to me and still talked about me, you know, I'll just let it be. I'll just move on, and let people think what they want to think. End of the day, I know for a fact that I've done nothing wrong in whatever it is, because I won't retaliate to it. You know what I mean? And I will move on. I will move on and carry on doing the content that I'm here to do. And then do what I love.
Well, that's what I mean. I mean, no matter what happens, whether it's behind yourself or on public, it's not going to prevent you from doing what you're out to prove, is it? It's
No,
really
it's
isn't.
not. No.
So that's good. It's just getting your thoughts on that because people are out there on YouTube looking for something, to film or to make, and they go out there and they think, "Oh, paranormal's popular. I'll do paranormal, but I'll do it in a way of drama related." If you're just gonna bring that to the table, you gotta think, paranormal isn't for me, and you shouldn't be going in there just to do that, because you should what you should be doing is what you yourself and other teams are doing, are proving life after death, and that's the way you should look at
Yeah, I
paranormal.
mean, we all have opinions. We all have opinions on everything that goes on in life. But I've learned last year opinions can get you into trouble. People put stuff up, and you put your opinion towards it, and they don't like the answer. It causes friction. And so it's like I've learned now to keep my opinions to myself. And let's just literally concentrate on myself and my team, and that's all I'm going to be doing.
Well, that's good to hear. It is good to hear though how you feel about it in general, because it's good to get your opinion on that. But yeah, if you have went on then an investigation and you've captured zero activity, would you go back and attempt it again?
Hell yeah, of course I would, definitely. Because on that night you won't get nothing. Just keep on trying. I feel go back to a location more than once is vital. Okay, so do at least half a dozen times, if not more, you know, because it's not about the location, it's about the connection to that place. Okay, spirit feeds off your energy, it gets used to your energy. If you go to a place once and it's all fresh energy to them, it's all new, then what you get? Nothing. You carry on going back and I recognize that energy. Oh, same energy, same energy. And they get used to you, then you get a stronger connection.
Interesting to know that. Because it's like the activity, isn't it? You can go there once and go there 3 times. Activity will be different. It will be
Yeah,
different overall.
every time. Plus, not on just like at nighttime, in the daytime. Certain dates, certain times. You know.
I'm not too familiar what your question there relates to, Karen. I think you might need to be a bit more specific. I'm not sure what that question relates to and what it means exactly. So if you could elaborate, that would be fantastic. But yeah, Wayne, I've picked your brains enough for the paranormal side. I'm now going to ask you general stuff because I think that's
Right.
the most
Okay.
important thing as well. How do you keep your emotion when talking about heartfelt subjects? Now, this is a question I want to ask because on the odd occasion, I do see you doing miscarriage awareness on those different subjects. How do you keep your emotions at bay when you're doing debates such as that?
Well, you got to think about people's got different points of views. So for me, in my coat pocket. Sorry, Tom. My wife just come in. 2 seconds, bud.
No
Is it my
worries.
coat pocket? Is it there? Yeah. So I'm very how can I put it? Um, Emotions. How can I put it? It's about connection in the paranormal. Okay, so no matter what you're doing, spiritual, paranormal, awareness talks, whatever, debate talks, it's about understanding other people's point of views as well. Um, I might have one opinion, someone might have completely different opinions. People need to understand today that it's okay to have different opinions. Okay, it's absolutely normal to have different feelings as well about stuff, but you can also talk about it on a mutual understanding. Okay, so that's how I see it.
Interesting development because what I would find is because if you're doing heartfelt subjects that would bring viewers think this is quite heart touching, I can't watch anymore sort of thing. You're quite calm, you're quite cool, the emotions isn't showing sort of thing. So I'm just wondering if you ever thought of you're touching a nerve with maybe some viewers, but yourself you're just calm like when you're discussing it. So I always wanted to know really if any emotions comes out when you're doing such heartfelt topics and.
Yeah, I do get quite emotional, especially card readings when I'm connecting with that person. If I've done card reading before where I've almost cried live, because you feel that person's pain or that feeling that they're feeling, especially the mental health chats that we used to do. It was very personal, okay, to them. And so it sort of comes personal to you as well. And then you can sort of like connect with each other. You know, you can connect and you can feel their pain just by talking to them. You know, how they're wording things, how they're talking to you. You can feel it, you know, and it's good. I am a big believer that you should share all emotions. If you want to cry, cry. If you want to scream, scream. Shout, shout. You know, if you want to let anger out, let it out. If you want to cry and sob your heart out, do that. You do what's right for you, because if you let emotions inside you boil up and boil up and boil up, you know, you'll be like a massive boiler. Eventually, you will blow, and then that's not healthy. So it's good just to talk as well, and talk to strangers. You know, don't talk to people that you know. Talk to people that don't know you, that can't judge you. Okay, so definitely, yeah.
So moving on now to the Powerflixer side. Do you think more people should join Powerflix? The reason being is because I know it's a cheap platform. It's cheap, you know, to go into the paranormal, dive into loads of content. Do you think more should join that really for the simplicity of watching paranormal related stuff?
Power Flex, did you say?
Powerflix.
I've never heard of it.
You've never heard of Powerflix?
No.
Ever? Never ever. Yeah,
No. What is Powerflex?
I'll show you. So Powerflix is like a Netflix sort of service that only hosts nothing but paranormal related content. And I'll show you
Oh,
that.
right. Okay.
So as you can see on here, so 25% off your first year, limited time. Use this promo code so you can get 25% off. It's fairly cheap anyway, as I'm prepared to show you now. So as it says, Netflix Paranormal, start free trial, and it's $2.93 a month, which is the cheapest of the cheapest. As well, I'm not sure if this is still running on the site itself, but you can submit content to them. You have to follow specific specifications, and if they are happy with that, they will then give you a contract, perhaps, to sign electronically, and you can work with them distributing your content to it. A lot of other content creators have done that. I've done Beyond the Veil. They've done content hosting on there. So there is loads of providers going into Powerflix and producing their content for them instead of YouTube or Facebook. So that could be another
Right.
venue.
Okay. I've never heard. I'll definitely check into them. I've never heard of them though. Never ever. If it's like TV, I have a big. I don't like TV, paranormal TV. I don't. I feel most of it is fake, because no producer will air an hour and a half live or video, right, of me sitting there waiting for something to happen, right? No one would, because it'll be boring. They'll never get views. The ratings won't be great, you know. People like Ghost Adventures, Most Haunted, you know, and programs like that have quite a lot of activity most of the time. I feel sometimes it can be staged for it to happen. Okay, if you got a audience, okay, that's, I don't know, a few thousand people watching you, okay, or 1,000 people watching you, night after night after night after night, and you got activity going, fantastic, and then you got about a week of nothing happening, you will drop viewers. And these companies, they need those viewers. They need that money. They need that fund coming in. You know what I mean? And for me, that's not the true aspects of paranormal. And that's why I would never do TV. I would never do TV. Me personally would never do it.
That's interesting, I suppose, because a lot of people would, if they got free time, they would want to watch, like I think it's Shadow Hunters, I think it's called. I'm not quite sure.
I mean, I don't get it wrong. I watch Ghost Adventures. I watch paranormal. I watch YouTube channels of paranormal, and stuff like that. I watch it, but I watch it for the entertainment
I
side.
recommend you subscribing to Powerflix, or at least trying to get it. Reason being is because there's so many teams I've interviewed, and they're producing nothing but original content. And I do recommend you actually watching it.
I will give it a watch with an open mind. Of course, I will. But me personally, I could never do TV. That's me or my team could never do TV. But I don't fault anyone doing it. That's their choice. But on TV, when I watch the Paranormal team, it's about entertainment, not about the investigation.
That's your view, isn't it? It's good to hear your view because your view will be different to many others. That's why we're
Yeah,
calling
of course.
So where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? What's your ambition?
I do not know. Hopefully, living in Blackpool. I'm planning to move there in 2023. Start a new life with my wife and my kids. Maybe. You never know what will happen, of course. But I still doing this, but on the side. My daughter by then.
Personal breaks in between and stuff, which is good.
Yeah, I mean, my daughter by then she'll be in her teenagers by then. Or actually no, just before actually she'll be 12. So so maybe more flexible for me then to get a job or whatever. But I don't know, just keep on doing what I'm doing. Have fun along the way and keep it as real as I can.
That's good to hear that. It's good because you're planning ahead and having some sort of draft and where you see yourself in 5 years will give you more hope for the future. So it's
Yeah,
all
of
about
course.
creating happiness and planning your future happiness as well. That's the most important part. So do you have any known habits that you do often?
Known habits that I do
Yeah.
often. Don't know really. To be fair, habit
Just
wise,
tapping on a desk or tapping on a ruler or
no, not
bed
really.
or
I don't know actually. I don't think I've got any habits. Like I don't know. I've never actually sat down and thought I've got a habit. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I have. Vicky, I've got no habits, have I? Habits? What? Oh yeah, I talk about paranormal too much, apparently. What?
A bad one.
What?
That white box.
Oh yeah, my Xbox. Apparently I've got a habit. A gaming habit.
It's an addiction.
It's
Yeah,
actually
to be
under the
honest, Noel,
NHS.
2022. It's good to get everything out in the open.
No, I do. I do game quite a bit. I game in my spare time. If I'm not doing paranormal or spiritual or anything like that, I normally game. It's my way of releasing. It's my way of leaving this world and entering another plane.
Well, it's good to know your habits anyway, because mine is just simply tapping on a pen, and I don't even know I'm doing it. So that's one of the common ones for me. So yeah, what would you say then to those that have lost loved ones throughout the last 2 years? Is it ever more important now to feel positive on the future? So is the future be more bright than it was 2 years ago? And also, while I'm asking this, how do you think the British public are feeling after Boris Johnson had a Christmas do last year and laughing at the death? Now, what can you say to that? Because I personally don't think it's nothing to be.
I feel I want to be respectful. I don't want to get you banned, but Boris Johnson is a knob, right? Simple as plain as hell. I feel the ones that lost loved ones over the last 2 years need to find justice because what Boris done to those families, okay, not just to him, to our Queen as well, is disrespectful. Okay, people couldn't say goodbye to their loved ones. People couldn't hold their loved ones and followed guidelines, right? They followed the rules, what this man set out, okay? What him and his party set out and the scientists set out, okay? We had to follow these rules to keep everybody safe, okay? So people didn't have the proper funerals. People didn't have the proper goodbyes and the send-offs, okay? They had to watch from a TV screen. Well, that knob jockey, and he is one, sorry, but he was having parties or arranging gatherings or send offs, whatever. You know, you had Matt Hancock cheating on his wife with some secretary, I believe she was. You know, breaking rules, and these are the people that set rules in place for us to follow. People got fined for breaking rules. So what would these people get? You know, a slap on the wrist. You know, to step down to get fired from their position. You know what I mean? Like people need to stand up and need to say, look, enough is enough now. Okay, you ain't taking us for mugs no more.
The thing is, I don't get it because Boris Johnson is doing what he wants to do, and he's laughing at yourself
He is laughing. He's laughing at the whole country.
Because you're doing what you are to prove life after death, and he's laughing at the death.
He's laughing at the living as well. He's laughing at the whole charade. You know, he got COVID apparently. Right, he got COVID right at the start. He got COVID. I think that's a lot of BS. Right, me personally, because I think he got that to scaremonger the public. Right, it's with the government. It's all tactics. Okay, it's all a game of chess with them. Right, and we are the pawns. We are the bait. Right, so I feel that he needs to step down. I think he needs to, let's say, enough is enough now. Okay, because if he's in power come next election,
Boris Johnson then admitted to it, and yet he's still serving our country.
Exactly that.
When there's more,
the thing is that
Boris Johnson doing a Christmas quiz or different. It's all coming out now.
Exactly that. I mean, I had
every single time.
I mean, I had a Christmas quiz. At Christmas. You know, with my family over Messenger. You know, over webcam. You know what I mean? So if we can do it, then the normal public can do it. Why can't him?
I was going to show the viewers who haven't seen the footage already, and just giving Wayne some sort of backstage for this.
Would the parents condone having Christmas?
What's the answer?
I don't know. I think it was a party with cheese and wine. Okay, no.
Is cheese and wine all right?
No.
It was a business meeting.
I'm joking.
This is recorded. This fictional party was a business meeting. And it was not socially distanced. One more, and then one more.
What's your instant reaction to that?
Well, she stepped down from her job. I know that. After that, it's just the lack of respect that they have.
The right thing to do.
You know, the government itself. There's not one MP that I trust now. Okay, there's not one MP I don't trust, and I will teach my children as well not to trust the government, because if they can mug my ancestors, they can mug my ancestors. If they can make a fool of my parents and my grandparents, if they were still alive, okay, and other people's grandparents and that, they'll make a mockery of our children and their children. You know what I mean? Government is there to serve one purpose, themselves. Okay, as long as they are getting their bonuses and their money coming in, they don't give a shit about the country.
Number 10. If he was outside, you know, doing his normal life, doing the groceries, I can't imagine Boris Johnson being in the supermarket, to be fair. You know, he should be held accountable. There's leakage everywhere. Why isn't he in a prison cell? Why isn't he serving justice that members of the public have to
Because when you
serve?
got money and you got power, you get immunity on certain things.
I just think really Boris Johnson should be held personally accountable, and he should serve justice for what he's doing.
It's exactly that, and I think there should be an investigation. Okay, there should be a massive investigation of what he's done. You know, but it's down to the police, and like I said, the police knew about the party and they turned a blind eye. So, like I said, this country is and forever will be corrupt.
Unfortunately, which we shouldn't be seeing. Really, we shouldn't be seeing. But if you was the Prime Minister then, if you were the leader of the country, how would you prevent this situation from happening again? What would you do, and how would you prevent this situation from ever happening again? In honest,
because I would listen to the people. Okay, coming from a background like myself, okay, that I've lived in poverty. You know, I know what it's like to be poor and have no money. You know, I know what the struggles are like as a parent. You know, I know what it's like out there to live hand to mouth. You know, it's tough. It's so tough, and so many thousands of parents out there are going through the same thing. Okay, probably even worse, right? I would look at other people. I'd be one of the people. That's what we need in power. Someone from the people, not born with a silver spoon or a gold spoon in their mouth, that gone to the highest education, don't know what it's like to scrape and scrim and survive. Okay, these people has never ever gone without. You know what I mean? And they are the wrong people to have in charge of this country. We need people that have been through that have gone through that struggle, to know what it feels like to cry because you can't get your son or daughter a Christmas present, or you're struggling for their birthdays, or you can't even put a meal on the table without scrounging this or scrounging that. So they are the people that we need.
Well, so it is. They need to understand the impacts of it, of us, haven't got the money to, survive on, and they don't see it as that. They see it as greed and nothing but greed. That's how they see it. But yeah, moving on from that, because it's good to get your view on that, because Christmas has just gone and it marks 2 years practically since where we could have Christmas the way we'd like to, and then Boris Johnson had a nice Christmas too. It's just as a prime minister, you should know what not to do, and
Exactly that. And he ain't setting the right role model for the younger generation of today.
he's not. So do you have anything upcoming then over the last 2 weeks? And what's your future progress in the next couple of weeks?
Well, I can't tell you what's going on in the future, but I can tell you that we are got another live stream as guests. We're on Rosie. We've been fighting onto her page on the 2nd of February, but unfortunately they're live in America. So for me, it's 2 a.m. in the morning here.
It's going to be interesting, Wayne. It's going to be interesting on that broadcast.
Yeah, it's going to be good. And then we are live then on the 7th of February.
One massive sneak peek, one massive little hint.
I'm going to be tired. I know I am, but it's going to be good. It's going to be really good. And then we're live on the 7th for our first live
Wayne,
of Disgusting.
Show us one little small hint on the 7th.
I can't, mate. I can't.
You can't at all. Viewers needs to know. They need to get some leaked information.
All right, I'm dyeing my hair. There you go.
Now, if that does happen, then that is some good footage there.
No, it is. I'm getting it done on the 31st, so I'm changing my hair color.
Interesting. Well, Wayne, you did well, kind of keeping it massively tight-lipped. I do hope really that Rosie is really quizzing you on that.
Hopefully it'll be a good live. I mean, I do like her energy. She comes along quite strong, quite positive. So
well, that's good. I do hope she quizzes though before the 7th detail, before the 7th month of the 7th date. I do hope there's some leaked information released there.
No, there won't be no leak. There is some. It's gonna be a good live. So we're going live on the 7th of February on our new page, or not a new. It's our original page, but we're revealing like a new name, new logo, new cover photo, and then we're going live at 8 p.m. Probably to about 8 till 10. About a 2-hour live.
Corn snacks at the ready, because I think that's going to be a massive one to watch, a massive one.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of laughter for sure.
Well, that's good to hear. I'm hoping you got the energy pumped for it. But yeah, Wayne, the only question I have left for me to ask you really is, what's your plan over the weekend? Have you got anything in terms of?
Not really. Spend time with the family. My wife's off this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. So I'm going to be spending time with her. We've got a new park opened up in Beaumont Park, a new playground park has opened up. So probably take the kids there for a few hours. And that's about it, really. Just enjoy family life, probably movie night tomorrow night and just chill out.
Have you enjoyed the podcast, Wayne?
I have it. Yeah, it's been very, very interesting.
Fantastic contestant on Paranormal Radio.
Thank you.
Well, have I been a fantastic host as well?
Yeah, you've been absolutely fantastic. Thank you for having me.
It's not a problem, Wayne. I will, however, reintroduce you to Paranormal Radio late in the year to find out what has gone on since this one. But apart from that, thanks for coming on Paranormal Radio. I do hope you best for the future.
Thank you.
See me on the 7th of February because it's a mind-blowing event, and I shall stay tuned for that. But in the meantime,
That's great.
Wayne,
Thank you very much, Tom.
I'll see you very soon.